because we're going to the Super Bowl, baby. We're going to the bowl, baby.
Yo, it's not that we're going to the Super Bowl.
We're going to the Super Bowl. Let's go.
You better ring us.
What do you think?
Oh, I think we're going to win the Super Bowl. I'll see you there.
Not going just to New Orleans. We're going to New Orleans. We're going to win.
We're going to the Super Bowl. Going to the Super Bowl.
But, we could have had 60, but we'll take 55.
We'll take 55.
You kidding me? 55 points.
55.
Unbelievable.
No, you don't got to be a math major. Double score, add one, so remainder 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll take it.
What is the commander? I don't even know what a commander is.
I mean, hey, safe travels back home.
Being here is just a pleasure. And we already know y'all a good team, but
Are you cheering for the Birds in the Super Bowl?
yes, we are.
Yeah. So Eagle train to go back to the bowl this time. We're going to get it done. Go Birds! How we do it? We get it down, dog.
Nobody's going to stop us right now. Nobody.
It's time for the best podcast around. Grab a cold one, sit back, and enjoy the show. This is Corner Pub Sports.
How you doing? This is Leonard Weaver, and you're listening to Corner Pub Sports, baby.
Hello, everyone. This is Marcus Jones, former Philadelphia Eagle. You're tuning in to the Corner Pub Sports.
Corner Pub Sports.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Fuck with my yeah.
Yo. What is going on, everybody? Corner Pub Sports coming at you live here on a Friday night. If you're watching us on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and Blue Sky, all those places, we thank you guys so much. Of course, if you download the show live, or if you download the show, on iTunes and Spotify and all those places as well, we thank you so much. Obviously, you heard the open. Obviously, you know what's going on here in Philly, baby. We are fired up. We got comments already flying in. If you're downloading the show, or if you're
some say flying to Common Avenue.
Oh, that's true. If you're
apparently nobody is.
Oh man. If you're watching the show live, you can always chime in as we're going on here. And we already have comments flying in here. Yo, let's effing go. We got Dave Peter, that's from Polsky. We got Peterson saying, good evening, Jets. What day is the parade going to be on Broad Street? We got Dave Langle saying, what's up, guys? I'm going to take care of some stuff before we get into some deeper, heavy stuff, all right? But real quick, you guys are listening to the number one independently owned podcast in the state of Pennsylvania. Not just the city, because that was the thing for a while. The state of Pennsylvania. Right here, baby.
Thank you.
It's all about those guys, man. It's all about you guys, the listeners, everyone who downloads us and tunes in and follows us and all that stuff. It's about all you guys. And otherwise, we couldn't do it without you guys, honestly. I mean,
thank you for liking and sharing and spreading the word.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like-minded, fucked up people. Thanks, man.
That's right. Yeah. Hey, and you know what? This is what we're here for. We're here to lighten the mood. All right? But before we get into the happy stuff, there is some heavy stuff we got to hit on real quick. Obviously, there was breaking news about about 2 hours ago. A small aircraft plane crashed in Philadelphia, Bustleton, and the Boulevard. Multiple people are dead. I guess they're finding more damage, and houses are on fire. People are on fire, and the video footage is floating around everywhere. It's crazy. That's the thing with the technology these days. Everyone has a Ring camera. Oh my God, all the different angles of the crash. It's horrifying. And we know, our buddy Dave, who passed away in 2020. Well, he has family who still live in that area. They're apparently okay, thankfully. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people down there in that area. That's the heart of this, part of a heavy congested part of the city, man. That's right by Roosevelt Mall there, and
Yep.
hopefully everyone's all right there. But we do have some breaking news. We found out who the pilot was. Is that true?
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant was the pilot of it. See, this is what you tune in for, all right?
Way to make roast beef.
We come in here.
You are the motherfucking Antichrist.
Bunch of childs. Mike's not here tonight, so there's Mike's voice.
Yes, that's what you are. You are the motherfucking Antichrist.
And then there's someone.
Is that my daughter in there?
She's somewhere. She's somewhere.
Is that my daughter in there?
My eyes.
She's probably in there and over here and over there.
Yeah.
No, but
she's everywhere.
She uses Head and Shoulders.
No, it's Jesus
Oh
Christ.
my God.
That's all they found in the neighbor's lawn.
Trespassing. No, but seriously, it's a messed up situation.
Yeah, this is
kind of
fucking
real.
insane.
It's crazy. I mean, literally, we were just sitting down here getting ready to prep for the show and everything, and we get the news flash coming across our phones, and everyone starts going crazy. And man, it's nuts. But anyway, thoughts. Obviously, thoughts with everyone who's affected by this. That's scary stuff. Also, we want to raise our glasses to he's listening to Jay and his family.
Yes.
Jay Parr and his family. They're going through a tough time. Not to get into details, but they've had a very bad week. Things are kind of rough with him right now. So thinking of you too, man. All right. So
thoughts to your family, buddy.
Yeah. Drink to that. All right. Get back to the text right here. We're talking about the it's a Cal. Did I just see? Oh, yeah, Mark's there. Let me see. Congratulations. Great job, guys. Thank you, Dave Langle. You're definitely a part of this, dude. Polsky said you guys are spreading the virus. CPS. Absolutely. Dave Peterson said, what did I say at the end of 2024? Bigger and better in 2025. Number one in your hearts. Now number one in your programs. Go CPS. So just so everyone knows, the number one show in the city and Pennsylvania is Eagle Eye, which is the podcast owned by NBC Sports Philadelphia, or NBC Sports in general, which is an Eagles podcast. So
we're right behind that.
We're right behind them, and we're not owned by a multi-million-dollar or billion-dollar company.
Yeah,
I'd say that's a win in our book.
Absolutely.
So when it comes to you guys, let me see here. Oh, Jesus. The speed cameras catch the license plate of that plane. It did go kind of across.
Yeah, someone getting a ticket.
Yeah, it did go across the boulevard like that. That would be fucked up. Like after after everything explodes and then the flash of the camera goes off. Fucking Kobe Bryant's getting a ticket in the mail.
Kobe Bryant. What the fuck?
And we are getting closer and closer. We are 2 months away, just less than 2 months away. 7 weeks, just over 7 weeks away from the 10th anniversary show at Sandy's Beef and Ale, March 29th, Saturday afternoon.
Come get some beef.
Some. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, and hopefully we're all real and still in awe of, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Well, there's one right there, Dave Langle. My birthday's on the 6th. My wish is to beat the Chiefs.
Nice.
Well, happy birthday to you, man, and
may your birthday wish come true.
Yep. All right, so we got all the heavy stuff out of the way. Again, thoughts and prayers with not to. You know what? Let me get back for a second. Thoughts and prayers don't mean shit. All right, like in my opinion. But honestly, our thoughts are with everyone who's involved with the plane crash.
God bless them. God bless them.
And with our buddy Jay, man. Hope you guys,
Absolutely.
hope everyone can find peace in whatever is going on in this crazy world, man. That's crazy stuff. So you guys are coming into the show not for heavy talk. You guys are coming into the show to hear nonsense and sports talk and whatever the fuck else we want to talk about.
You know, however the cookie crumbles.
There we go. We got a Chiefs fan there, right? Well, she's not a Chiefs fan. She's a Giants fan. So I get it. Because, she's upset because Saquon is on the verge of winning his first ring, because the Giants decided, nah, we're not going to pay a running back $12 million a year.
We're good.
Yeah, we're good. I'm going to lose a lot of sleep if Saquon goes to the Eagles. Well, I hope you're
Yeah, Joe Shane said to Tom Merrill, well, I hope you get a sleeping pill.
She's saying the Eagles aren't going to win. Not going to happen. Well, we'll see about that. Because this show is going to be heavy Super Bowl. Obviously, next week will be 2. By the way, we are hoping to have a special guest join us, possibly 2. Vinnie the Crumb and possibly Ed Kratz might be joining us tonight. So we got Polsky saying, I'm here to chew gum and talk nonsense, and I'm all out of gum. I drink beer. Yeah, dude, this is a good point by Dave Peterson. Because this is a good way. Obviously, we're going to talk a lot about the Super Bowl, but let's recap what happened last week to get to this point. And this is interesting. So anyone who knows about the situation, Josh Harris is the owner of the Sixers. He also owns the New Jersey Devils, and he also owns the Washington Commanders. The Sixers are the only team in the area not to congratulate the Eagles on their Super Bowl trip. The Phillies did, the Flyers did, the Union did. The Sixers did not, because Josh Harris is a bucktooth piece of shit. I can't stand him. I don't like it. We talked about this last week or week before. I'm so tired of him, dude. What they are doing, not to get on the Sixers train or anything, but real quick, talk out of a piece of shit. Josh Harris is. He is the Leonard Toast.
Absolutely, dude.
He is
absolutely
borderline Norman Brayman-esque. The only reason I won't give him the Norman Brayman title is because at least they pick up players under his regime.
Yeah.
Norman Brayman just let people. Leonard Toast only cares about money. Was going to move, the Eagles to Phoenix. He was going to move the Sixers if it had to Jersey. So fuck that guy. Fuck
dude. It's the Sixers are a disaster, dude.
Yeah,
they're a disaster. The owner, all he cares about is his bottom line. As long as he's making money from the Sixers, he doesn't care. And anything they've done in the past 20 years hasn't worked.
Right.
Hasn't worked. So 23 years, 4 years now.
That's
hasn't worked.
So, he owns this franchise in this town who hasn't made it out of the second round. He takes over a Washington Commanders team, and kudos to him and that Commanders team, because I can tell you what, Eagles had their hands full for a while. Gary just did it right here.
Yeah, Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn keeping his hat backwards for his blowjobs.
But I agree with that, Sean.
About the blowjob thing?
The Commanders are also $70 million under the cap. They got a lot of money to spend.
Yes, they do.
She wears underwear with dick holes in them.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah,
there is that chance, like it happens like it happened to CJ Stroud this year, that Jaden Daniels takes a step back.
I don't see that.
But I don't know, man. He looks like a fucking stud.
Unless he gets hurt, they're going to add so much to that.
Don't get frazzled.
No, they're going to add so much to that team. They're going to be a problem for a while. But aside from that,
they're going to get a receiver, dude.
Yeah, they are. Dude, on the other side of McLaurin, dude, you go Metcalf and McLaurin. That's a scary squad.
Yeah.
Although whatever, but we can't worry about that.
No, because we're going to the Super Bowl.
We're going to goddamn Super Bowl.
Right.
We wiped the floor with the Commanders last week. Wiped the floor with them.
55 fucking points.
Who's seen that coming? Who's seen that coming, dude?
I thought that was going to be an NFC East battle, low scoring, and it wasn't.
I did.
Yeah,
Sean said it was going to be a blowout.
I did call
said
for
the
a
same
blowout.
guy. I thought it was going to be a classic.
Yeah,
Now, it was in a sense, but I was expecting one of them games where like the whole game you're like this. Fuck.
Yeah.
But it was. Now that being said, Brian, it was a classic. Because
yeah,
our
Just
running
in a
back
different
did what running backs do not do.
Right. Just in a different way than I was expecting. That's all.
Right.
Yeah.
That was fucking.
Saquon Barkley has 7 rushes for 60+ yards, Ryan. 7. The rest of the NFL, 3.
Yeah.
Dude, Mark sent me a picture. So Vinny is going to be jumping on. He's just checking on some people with the plane crash thing.
Oh, that's right. He's from that area.
Yeah, so he's checking on some stuff. Yeah, so Mark sent us a great picture of his TV, his 70-inch TV, and us on it. Like it's such a great shot. I'm gonna have to share that on our socials, dude, because it's a pretty cool shot.
That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool. Anyway, oh man, Langle. Oh man, Wentz could have his second Super Bowl ring.
He might, yeah.
Anyway, all right. Let's not jump ahead. Let's stick with last week first, and then we'll look ahead here. Yeah. Saquon was.
I'm sorry. Did you see that?
You're gonna jump anyway on me. That's what I just did. That's what you're gonna do to me. Let's keep focused. We'll come back to it later.
Yeah, come back to it later.
Yeah. What?
Did you see the video of fucking Hurts when he threw the touchdown AJ Brown?
Okay, I mean, it's just talking about last week. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I effing. That's what
the fuck I do.
That's what I do. Yeah. I did see.
He was fired up, dude.
All right, I thought you were going to talk about next week. That was that was good. I was talking about last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm proud of you.
See, I follow directions.
I fucking doubt you.
He's hooked on.
I'm smart. I'm Fredo. I
scared.
got things to say. I'm smart.
So all right. God damn it.
I'm fucking Fredo over here.
I watched 2 last night. And again, I told you I watched Godfather 1 2 weeks ago for the first time in 20-something years. I watched 2 last night, 8 o'clock in the night. I said, hey, you want to watch the Saturday night movie? No, it's okay. I'm watching Godfather 2 then. I put that on.
At 8 o'clock?
Yeah, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
11:37, I went to bed.
But by 10:30, he's
one eye was open, dude. But I lasted. I was good. Dude,
are you having refreshments?
No. I had water. That was it. I just had water. Dude, I know it's highly regarded as, everyone says it's one of those sequels that's better than the original.
I disagree with that.
I think I gotta disagree. I'm not saying it's not. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. I like this way the character develops in the first one. Michael Corleone's character develops in the first one. In the second one, it's just everything wrong happens to him, and he's sitting there left holding his head at the end of the movie. That's basically what happens.
Yeah, I mean that's a good way to put it.
Right, like there's no development in his character, except for you start seeing him losing it.
Right.
Yeah. So Jacob's saying part 1.
Yeah, I've had that conversation with him, but
I like it. It's a good movie, and that De Niro playing a young Vito was great. His upbringing is great. That's a great story. There's a lot more action in part 2. 100%, no doubt. There's more things in motion. But to me, the storytelling of part 1 is just I think 1's better.
I'm a Godfather 2 guy. I think Godfather 2 is arguably the greatest movie ever made.
And a lot of people say that. A lot of people say it's the best sequel ever. Like, I'm just not. Yeah,
I hear you though. Like, I mean, you're not like you. it's hard to even make the argument because The Godfather 1 is just okay. You say that one's the best movie ever made. Like I can't tell you you're wrong, dude. They're both, but I don't know. I've always I've always, I don't know, enjoyed the second one more.
Wayne's World 2 is the best sequel ever. Says Callie.
Got $5,000. Got $5,000. Got $5,000.
I'm still gonna say that Goodfellas is still my top. Goodfellas is still my top.
All-time mob movie you're talking about, or just movie?
That's my favorite all-time movie.
I mean, it's
that's my favorite all-time movie. Yeah. Just the storytelling, the action, the acting, the music.
I thought I fucking
dude,
told
like
you,
that.
no big purchases.
2.5 hours of just.
It's in her mother's name.
There's a lot of dead. There's a lot of dead spots in those other two, in The Godfather 1 and 2. There is. I mean, I don't care what anyone says. It's beautiful. It's a beautifully shot movie, and all that. But there's a lot of like, you're just sitting there like, all right.
Plus the soundtrack in Goodfellas, dude.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's none of that in Goodfellas. Goodfellas is boom, 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 constant, like something happening and constant, and it's unfair. Anyway,
gotta go get the papers.
Just a matter of opinion, but I love it. I love,
Again, yeah, like, but any of them movies, like,
who's gonna argue with you, right?
Like, I can't. Again, even with that one, I can't tell you you're wrong. Like,
Callie, you're a whore.
You're a whore.
Janice Rossi in apartment 3B is a whore.
She's a whore. What was I just gonna play? I was gonna play this here.
It's the super
shine box.
Like that.
We keep him here.
You keep him here. That, and also, I got another one here.
Now you're a fucking mumbling, stuttering little fuck. You know that?
Like that's another one. There's so many.
I'm funny, yeah.
I thought that. Why don't we let him drive?
Yeah,
We're going to chop him up.
Not
here.
Warm him up. Fuck that warming up. Get the fuck out of here. Let him drive.
After he stabs Mario, I thought he'd never shut the fuck up.
And it's there. Oh God.
So we're gonna chop him up.
See, there's so many. Yeah, dude. There's no.
Oh, the part with the coffee pot.
It's
I thought you said you make the coffee to go.
Get the fuck out of here.
It's a joke.
Jacob Miller said underrated mob movie is Miller's Crossing.
Never seen
that one. I'd never seen that one. Gabriel Byrne.
White Heat.
You
ever see
I
White
like
Heat?
Gabriel Byrne.
No.
James Cagney, you never seen that?
No.
Oh.
No, I never saw that one.
Gotta watch.
I've heard of it.
You gotta watch it.
I never saw it.
Top of the world, ma.
1988, he said. All right. Thanks, Jake. I'll have to look that one
Miller's
up.
Crossing.
Miller's Crossing, yeah. All right. Let's get back to the topic at hand, too. Our boy's on. I'm going to give him a chance to fill up his glass, and I'll bring him on. This is great, because now we can actually talk sports. Why is this coming on? You're talking about plane crashes and Goodfellas and Godfather. So without further ado, it's been a long time. So I think it's been 2 years since we had our next guest on. Vinnie the Crumb joining the show. What's up, Vin?
What's up, you ugly pricks? Look how fucking ugly you guys are. Who gave you guys a camera? Oh, no. I thought this was supposed to be a radio show. You filming a horror movie here or what?
Number 2,
I mean, listen, I'm no prize either. I'm just trying to figure out why you want to see me on camera.
What's going on, man? How are you?
That's not very nice, Vincent.
Still fat and old, buddy. I could do something about one of those things. That's it.
Not the other one.
Not the other one, yeah. Cheers to you, brother. Thanks for joining us, man. Everything all good? Everything all good with the crash?
Yeah, man, everything's good. Everything's good. Just was, watching the coverage of people that have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah, right.
It's a shame. You can learn more. This is a really good lesson in understanding that when something like that happens, my buddy Ellis knows everything. This cat texted me. Let me see what time he texted me. It was, I have to say, he probably texted 6:29. This happened at 6:07.
Yeah, it was at 6 o'clock. Yeah.
Plane crashed at Cotman in the Boulevard. I'm like, what? Into the mall? He goes, yeah, across the street from the mall. I was like, seriously? He goes, absolutely. And then within 10 minutes, I had footage, had everything on my phone. And then, 15 minutes later, the news cuts in. Oh, they had a plane crash at Cotman and Bustleton. I'm like, turn this off. They have no idea what they're talking about.
I had an ex-girlfriend who used to work at the right across the street there. There was a hearing aid place or something, and right next to was there a Popeye's chicken that was there or something? Right across the street there. She used to work there. So shit. That's crazy.
Well, that might have just taken care of that, unfortunately.
Yeah, really? Huh?
Dude.
Huh?
Rough stuff, man.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
the old hood, man. I used to stomp around down there all the time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna flash the age badge for you. You ready?
Yeah.
I'm doing brick pointing. It's 1980 early, right? Rick Springfield is going to be at the Roosevelt Mall. So me and the guy that I'm working with, we cut off early because we know there's going to be a lot of tail over there.
Yeah,
and
Jesse's
we go over to the Roosevelt Mall, and we park the steak body pickup truck there. And within 15 minutes, we are mobbed. Like, we can't move. There was over 100,000 people there. And I couldn't believe it. I'm like, for this turd, he said, the guy was on Genital Hospital and everything. And it was just like
Genital Hospital.
Listen, you boys, you got to keep up, okay? Fucking guys. So, yeah, man. So, I mean, it goes all the way back to that. I used to drive through that parking lot and try to grab the pigeons when they jumped up in the air. I mean, this is what we did in the 80s, man. You guys are lucky you were born later.
Yeah, but
we didn't have the fucking internet. We couldn't stay home and jerk off. We had to go try to catch birds out of the side of the car. Right?
How to fuck them instead?
Christ, give me a fucking break here. How about them Eagles?
How about them Eagles?
How about them Eagles?
Well, it was perfect time, and you jumped on. We were just about to get on. We got on track. We got off track. Got back on it. So now we're on track. Talking to Eagles. We're talking about the last game, how much of a beatdown that was against the Commanders.
Hey, don't get excited about that because the Commanders aren't that good.
No, their defense sucks.
I mean, they're 32nd in the league in everything in defense, and it's easy to run up the score on a team that sucks, and it's easy to make yourself look good because we are that good.
Mm-hmm.
But it's easy to run up the score on a team that sucks, and it's easy to look like you put the backups in, and it's the NFC Championship game. I mean, come on, we look like we look like the Tom Brady and the New England Patriots at their heyday. That's what it made us look like. So
a rookie going in the championship game.
Yeah,
on the road, 4th straight home game. Look, they were a good offense. They really turned it on. They got hot. They beat the Lions, who were also decimated. And
they caught the Lions. They like you just said, they caught the Lions at the right time. Lions were decimated. They couldn't get anything done.
That defense,
yeah,
it didn't help them at all.
Defense played out of their minds that night because they just were. That was their Super Bowl. I knew as soon as they won that game, they were going to win another one because that was the way they were jumping around and kissing each other and having an orgy in the locker room. I was like, what the fuck? You guys didn't win anything. You didn't win nothing yet.
What are we drinking, Vin?
I have everything over at the bar, but
a little Maker's Mark action. All right, I'm sticking.
And this was open, so I didn't want to get in trouble for opening something else. I don't know by who, but.
Got a lager here. We got rye, rum and coke.
Yeah. I'm actually out. I'll be right back.
All right. And Gary's got
a Wawa iced tea.
Gary's got a Wawa iced tea over here.
Yeah. He loves them kidney stones, man. They're nice.
Oh, God. Yeah. Seriously.
I usually get a ride when we do the podcast, man. I usually get a ride home, so that's when I put the beers away.
Gotcha.
My ride bailed on me tonight, so
Ryan,
you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
You're doing the right thing.
Don't blow up his head too much.
No, I just don't want another DUI. That's all.
Another
one.
I know they're expensive, man, but
yes,
if you get all three, you get the collection.
Yeah.
You get the set. You get all three. Remember the set? We used to have to, when you had to collect the cards, you needed the set. You need the set.
Yeah.
You're getting all three.
Yeah, you're missing like the hologram to finish off the whole collection. Yeah, you just hit that hologram one. It says you're no longer allowed to drive, asshole. You're going to jail. Like, I got it.
Oh, you guys were talking about your favorite movie earlier. Mine is A Bug's Life.
Bug's Life.
My kid watched that at school today.
The ants go marching one by one. Hurrah!
Listen, it's a good metaphor.
My son is not a movie fan. He will not sit through a movie at all.
A movie fan.
It's weird.
He's hyper, Sean.
I don't get it. I don't get it. So they watched The Bug's Life. Yeah. A little bit of that. Yeah.
A little pinch of that between a cheek and gum. He'll sit for 5 movies.
It's just the greatest thing. But yeah, they watched The Bug's Life today, and I said, "What'd you think of it?" He goes, "It wasn't that good." I'm like, what 8-year-old doesn't like a Bug's Life?
The message, dude.
Yeah, like what are you missing?
The little guy wins.
So what is your favorite? Is that what's your favorite?
You know what? This is what happens when you get older, and you spend your whole life being like, everybody's. If I'm going to pick a favorite out of all those, I'm going to say Godfather 2 is probably one of my absolutes. And that's not taking anything away from one. If I just had to pick from 1 or 2, I'm going to go with 2. The second one I didn't hear you guys talk about was A Bronx Tale.
We didn't talk about
very
good movie. That's a very good movie.
Right.
Yeah.
And the reason I like that is because it's it's a little blown up, but it's almost a true story. And you really can't tell if it's
the working man is a sucker.
Yeah, exactly. But
there are some
Sonny's right. To this day, Sonny's right. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
There are some really Callie, I've never seen any of the Godfathers. Oh man. Callie, what are you doing?
Look, his name is Sean Patrick Callahan. What do you expect? There's not a vowel in any of those names.
He loves.
Scarface is not. The guy's Colombian.
Yeah. He does love Goodfellas, though. I know that.
Gangster movie, not a mob movie.
Goodfellas is my number one, Vin.
Mine's Jaws. Jaws
is your favorite?
Yeah.
I like Jaws. Jaws is good.
Yes.
What, you like your favorite movie ever?
What, Jaws? Yes.
Oh.
Bronx Tale and 2.
I'd probably go
Godfather 2.
I'd probably go Terminator 2 is my favorite all-time movie.
Oh, we're going outside of movies? All mine are all comedies.
Yeah.
All that stupid Sandler shit. I love all of it.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you excited for Happy Gilmore 2?
No.
I think it was terrible.
I'm not excited for it.
It looks bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you hit the ball out of the park, don't do part 2.
No. I'm not. I mean, look, for nostalgic purposes, was Beverly Hills Cop 5 good? What was the last one he just did?
Yeah, something
4.
like
that. It was
Did you like that?
4 or 5, yeah.
Yeah, it was 4.
Did you like that?
Yeah.
I spent 30 years saying the lines from the movie. You think I'm going to spend another 30 years talking about this one?
No.
Right.
It's the time.
Right, yeah.
The time that it came out.
Yeah.
It's the nostalgia of that period, that era. Not the movie. The movie, for all intents and purposes, sucked. But because it was Eddie Murphy, and because you're coming off Delirious, and because you're coming off of 48 Hours, and because you're coming off of Saturday Night Live, and because you're coming off the fact that he's probably the #1 black comedian in the world at that time.
Yes.
That's a great movie at that moment. Today, no.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, how can it be? He just crawled out of the woodwork. He did 2 stinkers, and then he puts this thing out like it's something else.
Yeah.
He did Coming to America.
Coming to America again? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Go back over there.
Yeah.
Go back over there.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out. Go back
Get off
over
the
there.
fucking street.
It's a
Rocky
good,
IV
it's
is
a good
still
thing you didn't do it before Trump took over. He'd fucking get you deported.
I used to be in there and taking them out. Hey, Callie, Rocky IV. Get the fuck out of here.
Hey, no Billy.
All right. All right, enough of
Who's
that.
this kid?
He's fucking around. All right, enough of that. Let's get to the game.
We win.
Eagles, Chiefs, going at it. The rematch, the revenge. Whatever you want to call it. We're going. It is what it is. And Patrick Mahomes and his fucking tilted head and his sidearm throwing shit, dude. It's funny when Andy Reid was the coach. Vinny was on MMR doing the updates, sports
Patrick
updates.
Mahomes. That's fucking Darlene. That's Darlene from Roseanne.
It is.
That's who he looks like.
Every single time that he did a sports update when Reid was a coach, he had some kind of joke about Andy Reid. Like, I'll never forget that. Like, every single time, Andy fat ass Reid. Like,
he was a fat ass.
and here we go. Now the second time.
The Kool-Aid man.
Now he's the Kool-Aid man.
Dude, he can barely.
He
can barely walk. He can barely walk now, man.
He's out of kids. I think they're all dead now. They killed themselves because of a bus. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on over there at the Reid house, but he's a hell of a football coach, isn't he?
Yeah, it's good.
He raises tough, but he knows how to coach football.
Yeah.
Father of the year? No.
That's because he was never home. Because all he does is coach football.
Okay, I know lots of people who are never home. Not all their kids ain't heroin addicts, or half of them dead.
Yeah, or in jail, right?
I know guys that grew up with their dads beating the balls off them, but they're still here. I don't understand what happened over there. Nobody's investigating at the Reid house. What's going on? Now, where's Mrs. Reid at? What's he got her hidden under his coat every day?
She's in the back grabbing her ankles.
Yeah. I don't know how. He's got to pull that awning up to get it near it. He's doing that. He's got to tape that thing back. That's 5 rolls of duct tape. Trust me, I know I got one myself. See?
He's going to 0-2 banana. The fucking.
I got double wide here.
He tells this old lady, "Time's yours."
Listen, Sean's very excited about the game. We need to talk about the game because he's getting annoyed.
No. I'm laughing my head. This is great. What do you say, Quaker? Oh, he looks like Wilford Brimley with that mustache. Quaker, yeah, he does. Yeah,
and he looks like that.
He could be the next poster guy for diabetes.
Yeah, that's that dude.
Yeah, Wilford Brimley.
Jesus
He's
Christ.
a fat Wilford Brimley.
Yeah.
Is he really going to deny us our second Lombardi this year?
Boy, how pissed are they guys? How pissed are them guys that they missed Ozempic?
Yes. Yeah.
How pissed are they? If I was Wilford Brimley, I'd be so pissed. I mean, man, I could have just hung in for 5 more years, and I could have caught that Ozempic. Maybe I could have squeezed out another 5 or 10. You never know. John Candy, he's pissed. He knew it was going to happen. He just couldn't hang in there. Chris Farley. Oh, they're all fucking pissed off up there. I know they're pissed.
Couple more years. That's all they needed.
Just a few more years. I just needed to get off the fucking drugs for a couple more years. I could have caught the Ozempic, and I would have been fucking solid gold. I'd be, doing leading roles like Richard Gere instead of over here rotten. All right, let's go.
Chris Farley in a Richard Gere type of role. Oh my God! Imagine that. Officer and a fat man.
Officer and a
He
fat.
wouldn't be fat.
No, if he had the Ozempic, he wouldn't be fat.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Who was the other one? The one that was in the Moneyball.
John Candy?
No. Well, John Candy is another one, but no, Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill's another one. He did
he caught the Ozempic.
Yeah,
You haven't seen him yet.
Yeah, he looks. And who's the other one? The one who was in American History X, and it was in My Name Is Earl.
Oh yeah.
He was the Louis Anderson looking motherfucker.
Well, he was.
Yeah.
Now he doesn't even look the same anymore, man. That dude, he's all
all fucking like.
Yeah, he's got no neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, his head looks like a fire.
The white man marches on.
Yeah, that's what he said. Ethan Suplee.
Yeah.
That's who he is. Yeah.
Suplee. I don't know who that is.
If you saw a picture,
If I put a face to the name, I would.
Yeah. All right. So
Another fat fuck.
Is Andy Reid going to deny the Eagles their second title here? We got the number 1 defense in the league.
Sean,
I'm
going to talk to you a minute about the game, okay? I plan to bring the whole diner menu on the field with me and order page 1 in the first half and the rest of the pages in the second half. Time's yours.
What are you choking on, you fucking jerk off?
Yeah. Choking on his own fucking esophagus. He turned himself inside out.
Yeah. That's his fourth
All
kid.
right, so the answer to your question for the third time of you asking it, Sean, is no. Is no. Is he praying?
I'm 10-2. You all right there, guy?
Yep.
Are you about to do a
This
time?
one's got his eyes closed. This one's going down. This one over. I don't know what you're doing to that fanatic thing, but it does not look right, and it probably
Oh man, he's chilling. Look,
yeah. So
he's chilling.
But no, the answer to your question, Sean, is no. They're not going to do that.
No.
Penicillin penny.
I'm thinking the same. I mean, I don't know. I guess if I was to ask all you guys your level of comfort, we did this last week too, but like 1 to 10, you know, and we'll get into it next week too. But 1 to 10, what's your comfort level if they're going to win the Super Bowl?
I'm at 9.5. I think the only way we lose this game is if we beat ourselves.
To turn the ball over.
Stupid mistakes. You make turnovers. You make bad decisions with the football. You know what I mean? Like you just make dumb mistakes. Like if you get near that pumpkin-headed Mahomes and you hit him after he let the ball go and it costs you 15, and then you're pissed and you're going to go and you're going to, get who's their offensive lineman who's really good? Chris, whatever his name is.
Tulane or something?
Yeah, Tulane.
Yeah,
and you're going to go after him. Listen, I already did this, and I can't believe it because I don't give a fuck anymore, but I did it anyway. Pound for pound, like if you line up this roster and you go man for man, they got no shot. Yeah. So you're going to load the box. Okay, you're Andy Reid. All right, all right, Spanks. Let's load the box. So you're going to load the box, right? So you're going to stop Saquon. Then what? After you loaded the box, what happens when you load the box? You guys,
I mean, your tight end gets wide open.
Your tight end is wide open. Who's your tight end? Some 7-foot fucking freak named Dallas Goedert who puts his guy's face into the fucking grass. 30 yards down the fucking field while he's running in for touchdowns. That's what you got to deal with.
Whatever using jet sweeps.
Yeah, exactly.
To Vinny's point, we've all been on record like Dallas Goedert overrated, like you would say. But when you look at his playoff numbers,
not
the
overrated.
Dude shows up in the playoffs.
Yeah. Not overrated when you show up when you need to.
Yeah,
I don't care what your season numbers are. You can suck a dick with that. That doesn't do anything for you. What does something for you? Okay, so you catch some passes during the year. That's great. You get a few first downs. You get up. You do your whatever it is. That's great. But when it's time to play, he plays.
Dallas Goedert's money.
He's total money. And here's what I don't like. I don't like everybody talking about records and all that. None of that shit matters. None of that shit matters. I go back to that argument when Eric Dickerson's over there whining about, fuck you. You got 2 extra games. You know who holds the record for real? OJ. The slasher owns the record for real. And when you do it in 14 games, and you kill your blonde white girlfriend and her waiter boyfriend, then you can come talk to me.
And you don't go to jail.
Until then, shut your hole. Oh, and then you go to fucking jail because of baseball cards.
Yeah. And trying to steal your Heisman back.
Exactly. So, I mean, what I'm trying to say is none of that shit means anything. What means something to me? Championships. Okay? NFC championship, we already won that. Hey, dude, when was the last time? I mean, none of you guys are really old enough. I guess you are old enough. I shouldn't say that, but.
Yeah, I'm I'm in the 70s.
Okay. Okay. But you have to understand, like, this team sucked for a really long time. I mean, I lived through Marion Campbell. Okay. I was coherent enough to understand that Marion Campbell was the head coach of our fucking football team, and it wasn't going to go well. I was coherent enough to understand that Ray Rhodes was the coach of our football team. I was coherent enough to understand that when Buddy Ryan was here, as fun as it was, that he was a defensive guy.
Yeah.
But I was watching history when that lanky fuck named Randall Cunningham got on the field. That was one of the most amazing people I've ever seen play football. Right?
Yeah.
Joe Montana, watched him come and go, start and finish. You know what I mean? Like all these guys.
Yep.
Okay. And this team was so bad for so long. And now all of a sudden, we're in the Super Bowl for the second time in 3 seasons. Everybody's running this coach out of town last year.
For the fourth time in the last 20 years.
Right.
Yeah.
For the fourth time in the last 20 years.
So
everybody's running this coach out of town. I have a question for you guys. Is Doug Peterson better than Nick Sirianni?
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
Okay. Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl.
Yes, he did.
That's like asking the question, is Jeff Hostetler better than Phil Simms?
Right.
Hostetler won the Super Bowl.
Were you expecting a different answer from us?
No.
On that? Yeah.
No, but there's some nitwits out there that say different. But at the end of the day,
they caught lightning. Look,
you
that was a
just have
great
to
year.
win.
That was a great year, but they caught lightning in a bottle that year. I mean,
like Vinny, it's not just about talent winning these games. Sometimes you got to have a little bit of luck.
Mm-hmm.
And the Eagles just got lucky that year.
Look, the Eagles were very lucky. Doug Peterson's team was a Julio Jones catch away from not even making it to the
exactly like that. Doug Peterson, like his track record, aggressive. Like honestly, like from his track record now, the only reason he looked like a good coach in 2017 is because every move he did worked.
Mm-hmm.
Worked.
Yeah,
that's because Howie Roseman gave him the talent.
No, I'm talking about on the dumbfounded calls he makes.
Oh, okay, all
when
right.
it's 4th and 5 from your own 45 in the middle of the second quarter and you're down 3.
Yeah,
you don't go for it. You fucking punt.
Sirianni's done the same. Sirianni did that this week with the 4th and 5 and threw a bomb to AJ down the sideline, which was, I mean, you and I, Ryan, Ryan was here watching the game with me, and we're both like, I don't like this call. Like, why are they going for it? And then he hits the pass, and I'm like, okay, look, I'm glad it hit it, but I hated that call. I hated that call. Like, why would you do that at that point in the game on that side of the field? You punt the ball away and pin them. But look, those are sometimes the calls that you make to put you over the edge, to get you that point, that's given the opportunity to play in the Super Bowl. What happens here? Like, so Goddard, we started seeing some running plays from Goddard. They open up the playbook a little bit more.
Yeah,
than we have seen all year. I'm expecting even more of that in the Super Bowl.
Absolutely, you have to, because the Chiefs, the Chiefs are going to do the same thing. They're going to have a lot of shit that there's no tape on, that they haven't run. So the Eagles got to do the same thing.
He's got a lot of fucking tricks up his sleeve. He thinks he's got it all figured out with Barkley, and you've got to have a spy on Hurts too. So if you got a spy on Hurts, Barkley's going to run off on you.
Right, do that.
And then if not, Devontae's going to do an end around and come around and pick up 7 or 8.
And if you cover that up, Hurts will pick you apart.
If you're
going man to man, Hurts will pick you apart.
Exactly, because their secondary is what, 17th in the league against the pass.
Yeah,
what are they against the pass?
McDuffie's a good
number, or 18th number.
18th.
Yeah. So
and McDuffie's a good corner, but he's probably the best guy in that secondary.
They got they got 2 good linebackers too. Like they play good defense,
and they have a good defensive line. But are they a better? I mean, I don't know. The Packers' defensive line was pretty good. That was a pretty good front. We on the Rams' defensive line had a nice young defensive line.
What about the Baltimore Ravens? They were considered the best defense in the league.
I understand. I was talking more about playoff teams that we've recently faced. But yeah, I mean, you're 100% right. Pittsburgh too. Pittsburgh's the same thing. Yeah. We combated that. We were able to overcome that, and Saquon went off on both those games.
All those games. If you look up all those games, Saquon rushed for over 100 yards, and there was a breakthrough.
Saquon doesn't have all that.
One of those. Huh?
Saquon doesn't have all that success without Hurts on the field.
No, he doesn't, because they're watching him too.
Correct.
They're watching both of them. They're both
the Chiefs actually haven't given up a 100-yard rusher all year.
They're going to next week.
They also haven't really scored 30 points all year either.
No, right.
They've allowed 131 yards on the ground in the postseason.
Yeah, that's their average.
It has right. It has. They have been getting gouged.
Now you guys are football guys. You guys are guys in the know. But can you name their wide receivers?
Worthy, Juju, DeAndre Hopkins. That's all. And then Kelsey.
I mean, I didn't hear all three of them jump out everybody's mouth. That's what I'm talking about.
No, and it's not,
there's no one that scares you.
Right.
No,
DeAndre Hopkins are not people that you need to worry about. The only person you should worry about a little bit is Worthy. Because
because he's right.
Fast.
And who are you going to put
the ball?
You're going to put Quinyon on him. Put Quinyon
Mitchell on him. Probably an 85% Quinyon Mitchell, who's still the best corner in the league.
Right.
And Zach Bourne's back there too. And everybody, I mean, dudes, listen, I'm not taking anything for granted. Name a Kansas City running back that's going to run 100 on us.
We got and Hollywood Brown too. Hollywood Brown's a one trick, like he's a deep guy and that's it. Like, and no team has been able to have the only one that went deep on them was McLaurin, and that was only because Mitchell turned the wrong way. That was in the last season. No other. The Eagles don't give up big plays,
right?
No.
And they're not a big play offense. They're not going to do that.
They're not at all. That's what I was saying too.
Yeah.
So
Patrick Mahomes had three passes this season for over 20 yards. Just three.
That's it.
Three.
That's ridiculous. Like that's
so. If you can name three people from their offense that I have to really be concerned about, that would be a miracle. Right?
No, it's one.
I mean, you'd be stretching if there was really three people on their offense that you could worry about, including Mahomes.
Kelsey.
No, it's Mahomes and Kelsey. It's Mahomes and Kelsey. If you ask
there's probably one more that you should probably keep an eye on, but I wouldn't say worry about. Right?
Not
I'm with you, man.
Not worry.
So
keep an eye.
When you go to the Eagles side when you go to the offensive side for the Eagles against a Kansas City defense that is what? Overall, where are they ranked? They're not ranked at the top, maybe in the top 10.
They're 8th, I think.
Yeah, so they're not, but they're closer to the top. I'll name five people off the top of my head that you have to worry about on the Eagles offense.
Yeah,
the quarterback, Barkley, AJ, Devontae, Goddard, and don't forget they might sneak that little Dotson in there a couple times too, and that little fucker can run like he just stole it.
And then Gainwell too.
Yeah, like Callie just said, Pacheco's still hurt. I mean, so he's still running for them. I mean, he's still getting some carries, but he's not the Pacheco we faced 2 years ago, where he was.
Neither are these Chiefs, by the way.
No,
neither are these Chiefs. And look at their last 5 games. I could be wrong here, but just check me if you need to. If you look at their last 5 games, they didn't win by much.
They didn't win any game by much this year.
Points. They're just eking by.
Right, they are. They're eking by, but they're
whether it's 20 points or 1 point, it's still a win.
4 points.
And they've only lost 1 game all year. Like they're a formidable opponent.
Two, right? Well, last game of the year, it doesn't really count.
Yeah.
52, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're not. Look, by no
stretch I'm confident
this is going to be easy, but I still predict a double-digit win.
Right.
When this thing is closed, the game will have been over minutes before it was actually over.
Yeah, you got to just play smart, mistake-free football. And
what you got to do is, you're right about that, but you also got to get in front of these fucking guys and leave them behind you. Because if you let them hang around, the little prick's going to find a way to win.
Right. You got to punch them in the mouth. Like, you can't let them hang on, keep it at like a 1-score game in the 4th quarter.
Right. Can't be there.
You got to punch them in the mouth.
If you're going to take a 15-yard penalty because of this cocksucker,
make sure it's
break 2 ribs.
Yeah.
Put your helmet in his ribs.
Like, make it worth it.
Hey,
make it worth it.
Don't forget, the little fucker went out 2 years ago. We thought we had the thing in the bag, and he had a broken foot. He came back in and beat us.
Yes.
Yeah, they fucking drugged them all up.
Yeah. And he came back in and beat us. And fucking hobbling around, he beat us.
Can't fucking.
So, and you have to break him in half for him to get out of the game. Like that part, I don't want to hurt him. I want him to be on the field. I want him to feel the loss. I want him to feel it. I don't want him to see it from a stretcher. I don't want him to see it from the side. I want him to be on the fucking field when the clock strikes 0 and the green confetti comes down.
So you know what? One of the biggest things on our side. So the only Super Bowl he lost, right, was against the Tampa Bay Bucks, and Kansas City's offensive line was decimated. Like, so they got pressure all night, and now with their linemen going down, you might kind of have the same thing here.
I just don't know if the Eagles' rush is as consistent as what the Tampa Bay team is.
Right.
It's not like what happened last week with the Commanders, where it was their best lineman went out and Jalen Carter was about to eat all day, and he did. And but you still are going to have to do the same thing where you're going to have to double Carter because the guys like Jordan Davis got open. And then this is a good segue. That's a perfect segue because I was about to bring this up. Brandon Graham playing. First of all, even if he gets 5 snaps, the boost that's going to give that team.
Sure. Well, it's funny. I heard Dave Zangaro talking about that today. So he said he came back to practice and the energy boost of the whole team, like you felt it. So Dave was saying the same thing. Like even if he had 5-6 snaps, what it's going to do for the mentality of the team, like. Oh,
yeah, I know. Yeah, it's going to be. He's going to make a big contribution emotionally. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what he's got in the tank physically. He hasn't done anything football in the past 2 months, but he is a old, grizzled up, fucking veteran, and he knows what it feels like to get hit. So he's not going to be surprised when he gets hit.
Right.
And
he has a knack.
I could definitely see him making a difference out there, but I'd love to see that.
Yeah, like he has a
big play. Oh my god!
Yeah, like he has a knack for making a play when you need one. Could you imagine it? Oh my! Because he's already cemented because he made the biggest play in Eagles history, right?
I'm getting
the biggest play. Could you imagine if he made another impact play like that? It's late in the game. You're up 10.
He's already
5 minutes left.
He's already an Eagles legend.
Yeah,
right? He's already an Eagles legend. That will propel him into like people's top 5 list of all time. Like if he's not already there.
You remember the first 2 years of his career? Everybody's screaming boss.
They wanted Earl Thomas.
Earl Thomas.
I was one of them. Like I wanted.
So was I.
When they took Graham, I was like, cool. They got a hybrid linebacker lineman, but they didn't use him right. Like when he first came to the league, they weren't using him correctly.
He didn't fit in the system.
No, and the team wasn't good. I mean, the team wasn't really good when he first came in, and
he wasn't good.
Listen,
the prime example of not using somebody right is Saquon up north. The prime example of not being on the right football team is Saquon up north. If you I could say 10 more things and say it's Saquon up north because the fucking guy was stuck there and he couldn't go anywhere. They didn't have the personnel to give him the room that he needed. And he comes here and he's overeaten. Like he's just he's like us at the table with steak dinner. He's just, you know what I mean? And he's got so much time to make up for. And I love that. And I want him to make up for it next Sunday too. You know? I just think the Giants didn't have what it took to make him good.
I mean,
to
honestly,
show him off.
We talked about this last week, but like again, let's emphasize this. Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley. I mean, who else wants it more than those 2 guys?
Yeah, and the combination of what each of them does for the other one, it's fucking electric, man.
I want to stick my
just remember this, right? Just remember this for those who are watching. That picture of Hurts walking off the field when Kansas City won last time, and he saved that on his phone.
It was a screensaver.
It was a screensaver. He kept looking at that and said, "I don't want to feel that feeling again." And I look at that picture right now, and I get a smile on my face because I'm like,
"You're going to see a different part."
He ain't going to fucking do that again. He ain't feeling that again because what he's doing now. First of all, he was the focal point of that team 2 years ago. He was the guy.
Everything went through him.
Yeah, like the team, they weren't running the ball like they are now and all that stuff. And the defense wasn't as good as it is now. And there's such a well-rounded team. And Vinny, when he first came on, he said it right off the bat, take care if they don't beat themselves. And that's where I'm at. I was going to say like an 8, and he's like a 9.5. I kind of I might be siding more towards Vinny here. I might be like a 9.5. As long as they take care of the ball, they are not going to lose this game. They're not going to lose this game.
It's a double-digit win, guys. I'm not going to say it's going to be easy, but it's a double-digit win. Like at the end, we're going to do what we usually do and just pull away from it.
I love it.
Yeah, that's what gets me. What I don't know what word to use, but what's restraining me from going that far is you guys. It's just the Mahomes factor, man.
One guy.
Games he shouldn't win, things he shouldn't do, calls he shouldn't get. If it's close in the fourth quarter,
Callie said, Vinny made me rise. I'm now on 9. Take that however you want to take that.
9 inches?
That's what he's saying.
I'm a 7. I'm a 7.
Yeah.
All right. So you still have them winning, but you still have that old Philly. Well, I don't know. Because, listen, and you have every right to, because you've seen that little prick do things that should not be done.
That shouldn't happen.
He makes fucking David Copperfield look like a card trick guy.
It's insane. Like the Bills had the first down twice last week.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
The refs took that away, dude. The refs took that away. You're right.
The Bills. I would take
the Bills kept it close. It was close.
It was.
And that's the other problem.
They lost by 4, right? So the Bills gave up 32 points. The Bills gave up 32 points, and their defense is not nearly as good as the Eagles.
Right.
And Eagles and the Bills offense, I mean, I have to look at the numbers, but I would imagine they're pretty close.
Saquon's better than James Cook.
Yeah. But
their best receiver is Shakir. So our receivers are better.
Yeah, and obviously their quarterback's better. But
right.
But honestly, I think let's just say it's even. But our defense is so much better than what the Bills – so much better than the Bills' defense. I just don't see them.
Yeah, but the defenses don't play against each other. They play against the offense. And I agree with you what you're talking about as far as that goes. But the honest truth is I was a little scared of the Bills.
I was
Tell
too.
me why.
I didn't like the matchup. I thought that not that Mahomes, like I don't want to compare Mahomes and Allen in this sense where I'm more afraid of Allen than I am Mahomes. But to me, Allen's outlets were a lot better than what Mahomes has now, to me. I think you can cover you, even though they didn't do a good job of it last week against Ertz. I think the options for Mahomes is more limited than what Allen has. Mm-hmm. Any one of those receivers Allen can go to. And their running back, to me, James Cook's better than Kareem Hunt. Okay, so that worries me too. Defensively, obviously the Chiefs, to me, their defense is better. But right. I felt that our defense matches up better than I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. I just thought that our defense matches up better to the Chiefs than it does the Bills. I would have been a little more worried. I hope I'm not eating my words, but I would have been more worried if we were going against the Bills. I don't know. That just seems to me like a matchup nightmare for some reason.
Well, it wouldn't only be a matchup nightmare, but it would also be an emotional nightmare. You have to think about how many times the Bills got there, what their expectations were for this year. And if Josh Allen finally had done what no one else could do, which is get past Patrick Mahomes and beat the Chiefs to get to the Super Bowl, that would have been his Super Bowl.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, that it would take everything he had to do that.
Yeah.
To win that game and take that team there. And the expectation and the fucking, everything that comes around that. Matchup wise, I get it, because we've matched up with different teams all year long. Okay. You take the Packers, you take the Steelers, you take all the key games that we played. We all had matchup questions about how we're going to match up with this, how we're going to. So all that aside, the fact that they get there and, they're sitting there and there she is and she's fucking naked and she's got it and she looks beautiful.
Giant bush.
Yeah, and no, man.
Fucking landing strip, like in Tom and
Oh,
I.
yeah, 70s book.
I'm from the 70s and I'm not
going up
Yeah, 70s book.
Maybe a little run.
You need a fucking weed whacker.
I don't want to leave.
Listen to me. Listen,
I want
to fucking dress like I'm in Jumanji 3 to get to the promised land. Okay? Just show me where it is.
Fucking pussy looks like
She's right there, right? And everything's great. You got, you already popped your Viagra 15 minutes ago, so you're ready to roll. And everything's cool. You just walk up to her, and she looks so hot, and all of a sudden you just get right there, and you're like, good. Because,
right.
Yeah.
You just
what are we talking about here?
What it's going to be.
Yeah, you just do. Hold on. Do it again.
Just describe my life. Right?
There it is, right there. Yeah, that's it.
So that's that's so I think the Bills would have been a much more of an emotional factor for them. I think they would have, by beating the Chiefs, they would have had the game that they wanted to. That was their Super Bowl. That was their lady on the couch, as it were. And now, the expectation is to win it. Who would have a bigger expectation to win the fucking Super Bowl if it wasn't the Bills?
Then, yeah.
Besides the Bills, who have a bigger expectation?
Yeah, imagine being a Bills fan.
Yeah,
exactly.
Imagine being a Bills fan, man. God bless them motherfuckers. The four Super Bowls.
They're us without a Super Bowl.
Then when you finally get good enough, you're in the Patrick Mahomes dynasty.
They're us without a Super Bowl.
Oh, what about the Tim Kelly years?
That's what I'm saying. They lost the four Super Bowls.
They're us without a Super Bowl. That's what they are. They're as passionate as we are. I mean, they really are. For such a up there and all alone and near Canada and near those fucking weirdos.
Bring dildos to the stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a town of like fucking 200,000 people. They all go to the football game. They throw snowballs. They throw dildos.
Tables.
The dildo thing is fun.
Well, I loved because it was during the championship weekend. It was if the Eagles and the Bills make it to Super Bowl, this is what New Orleans will look like. And it was like a scene from like a apocalyptic movie. It's just blowing up and stuff. Planes crashing and Roosevelt and the Boulevard. But yeah, it was just stuff blowing up and all. It was like, yeah, actually, that'd be kind of cool. Like that would be awesome.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So the next question is, and this was all over the radio today. I'm not stealing it, but it's a question that I had too. Is this the best Eagles team going to the Super Bowl?
I'm glad you asked that, Vinny, because I was going to ask.
Is this the best Eagles team? Both sides, offense, defense. I'm just saying overall, is it the best Eagles team?
All right, so
I'd say yes.
80. I was born in 81, so I missed that. But
okay, don't worry about that. The 80 team was all right, but it
so beyond that,
Jaworski, Carmichael, Montgomery. After that, there's not much to talk about. Oh, Bill,
I got to be honest. This might sound crazy, but I think as a full unit going into a Super Bowl, because you got to remember, going into the 17 season or going into that 2017 Super Bowl, Nick Foles was the quarterback. There were still questions. He didn't, he looked great against the Vikings. Look, I thought they were going to win that game against the Patriots. I did, but there were question marks, and that defense had leaky parts to it.
Sure.
That defense got lit up.
I mean, that offense was good, though. I mean, those were Alshon Jeffrey and Torrey Smith. Torrey Smith was at the end of his career, but Alshon Jeffrey, you knew you were going to get out of him. You knew you were going to get out of Zach Ertz. And, Ajayi coming out and, LeGarrette Blount, you knew you were going to have smash mouth football. Yeah. Like, the offense, to me, wasn't a concern. It was the defense. Jalen Mills is going to give up a big play. I don't have that concern with this defense.
Okay. Makes sense.
And offensively, I mean, no one has been able to stop them when they run the ball and when they choose to run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Even when they shut down the run, man, like Jalen's been slinging the ball all over the place. I mean, he had a good week last week against Pittsburgh. You know, when they forced him to pass, he did, and he blew them up. I'm going to say yes. Special teams,
Okay.
no. The only thing is
Not the kicker.
Fucking Jake Elliott,
Not
man.
the kicker.
Dude, if you had to find one thing wrong with a team, what would you pick?
Right. If that's the only thing that's wrong with this team, like
right.
If I was saying to you, you find one thing wrong with the team, tell me what it is. 10 out of 10
I'm
people.
going to go this team. I'm going with this team. It was.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you guys. I think the Super Bowls I've seen in my life, so 2004, 17, 23, 22, 24.
Oh, don't forget now, not to interrupt you, but that 2014 was pretty fucking gnarly.
Yes, it was, but it had a Terrell Owens coming off an injury. Don't get it twisted. He fucking, on a broken foot, fucking had like 180 yards receiving.
I just said 5 minutes ago, Mahomes came in with a broken foot and beat us.
Yeah.
So T.O. did it, 20 years ago, right?
But
I'm going back, dude. That was a great football team.
Yeah.
So was awesome too. And that's a team to me that's competing with this one.
Yeah, that was a Jim Johnson defense.
Yeah,
right.
So,
but I'm going this one.
The linebackers were shot, like Levon Kirkland. I mean, even before that, you had concerns about that linebacker core there, and
then you brought Javon Curse in from.
Oh my God! Remember that?
Yeah,
the freak.
Yeah,
but the
job that Javon Curse and the Derek Burgess did on Michael Vick in the NFC title game, the way they just contained them
Thomas
and put them in a bubble.
Yep.
Oh, dude.
Dog in the back. Like, it's just...
Yeah, AJ Crumpler remembers him.
Yeah, he sure does.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see, right? So when you look at all those teams and you look at all the times that we've been there and all the times that we still have won, and then we wind up winning in 17 with the team that probably had the most holes in it out of all the years that we just talked about.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the 17 team kind of backed in and we got lucky. I think there was a lot of times during those playoffs where we got lucky and we did kind of back in at the end of the season, if you remember. And then we wind up pulling it out against the fucking best to ever do it. And we win the thing by 3. That's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it'd be nice to not have a edge of the seat.
Right.
Like,
if you need help.
Like, we're not. Yeah, he's fine. That we're not, holding our breath. Right. It'd be nice to, like, by the third quarter, we just start celebrating. Like, fuck this. We got this. Let us have a blowout Super Bowl. Right.
Look, it would be nice if a blowjob was her idea too, once in a while. But
that's a good point.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So it's just how you win. How you win is how you win. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
I know.
I want it to be by a lot because I'd like to sit back with my feet up and just watch Sirianni manage the clock because he's masterful at it. He's very good at managing the clock and managing the end of the game. Like he's the guy who isn't. Andy could never do when he was here.
No,
is manage the clock.
And he's the same way. Like if you watch those Chiefs games, you see it. Like the end of the second quarter, the end of the game, he's always down a timeout or two.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's one thing. It's amazing in his career. He's never gotten right.
It's insane. Not getting the plane in time, all that stuff. So
I'm not exactly getting the nutrition right either. So
or getting child management.
Yeah,
going. But back
when he knows quarterbacks.
when they beat Baltimore, so you were just saying, I don't care, a win's a win. I don't care how they do it. When they beat Baltimore, I remember coming home, and I said to my wife, I said, and I know, get ready for bed, because it was, I work the next day or whatever, and I sat there and I turned to her, I said, this team's special. And she's like, it's early. I said, this team is special. There's something. I'm feeling that feeling that I had in 17. There's something about this team. Now, I will say, like in 22, not getting into complete details, but like there was a lot of shit going on in my life, and in the playoffs, and I wasn't I'm not gonna say I wasn't into it because I'm sports fanatic and I love my teams but there was bigger things happening. And,
sure.
And when they lost, I was disappointed. I sat next to Ryan. We sat in silence. We're at his house and we just sat there and I said, "Fuck it, we're gonna be back. We're gonna be back."
But you know what, Sean? You lost to the best Kansas City team there was.
That was the best. Yeah,
that was the best Kansas City team that was out there, right?
Yeah.
So I love it, Mark. You're right.
Vinnie for president, DJs for everyone.
I love it. I like to be the vice president's idea too.
Can I be your vice president?
So yeah, but I mean, I could understand that because you lost to a great football team. Can you honestly tell me that Kansas City at this moment is a great football team?
No, but they got a great head coach, and they got the quarterback is a big X factor. X factor.
But do you feel
like the Eagles are away from that? But are they better than they were 2 years ago when they beat us?
No,
definitely not.
Are the Eagles?
Are they is this Chiefs team better than that Chiefs team?
Yes.
Is that what? I completely agree. Completely.
Not even close. Not even close. Not. And I'll tell you what, the Eagles are better than they were 2 years ago.
Yeah, definitely agree with that.
Or more. So that's where my answer comes in. When I think about this, when I look at it, I say this is a double-digit win for us.
I can't believe it.
Unless we do that to ourselves, there's no way that they beat us.
1.5 point underdogs. I like to say I was surprised, but I guess I'm not because yeah,
is that where it's at right now?
Yeah, it's 1.5. The Eagles are 1.5. I took that. Dude, I took that in a heartbeat. I'm like, yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, I'll take that.
My concern
and that's going to change by the end of the week anyway.
I would think so. Yeah,
and it's a legitimate concern. Is Patrick Mahomes against the rookies in the secondary?
Well, it hasn't affected them to this point. Like to me, Vinny, are you okay? Can you hang for a bit, or you have to go?
I got a minute.
Okay.
I got some time.
So Cooper DeJean to me is going to be the one kind of coming up, and I would think Blankenship might be the other one coming up and kind of going against Kelsey. You're not going to double team him the whole game.
Right.
But to me, those are two guys. So are you going to tell me Cooper DeJean can't hang with a 35-year-old Travis Kelce?
Absolutely, he can.
Like I'm not like if that's the matchup.
I'll take it all day.
Even though he's a rookie, I'm going to take DeJean. Like DeJean hasn't done anything this year to make me think that he can't handle that.
Okay.
And I'm not arguing. I'm trying to set your mind at ease.
No.
And you put Mitchell on the outside against. I would match if you can match Mitchell against Worthy because you have the speed on speed. Mitchell can cover anybody in the league, and then you put Juju on Slay. Like, come on, man! Like that to me, like if that's what they're lining up.
This is big time lights. This is big time for rookies. That's all I'm saying.
Sure,
this is big time.
But to me, Quinyon Mitchell has shown up, even in his collegiate career, when he had to face off against the biggest receivers in the league in college. He showed up. When he showed up this year, look at it. I mean, we've all seen the stats all year round, right?
He's had one bad, I wouldn't even call it a game, one bad stretch in the Washington game that they lost. Right. But
where he turned the wrong way.
Right. And he's been.
He still had him. He had him on that way. He just turned the wrong way. He didn't have an angle on the ball. It's not that the dude beat him clean. He was still
He's not a type of corner that's going to get beat clean.
Yeah.
You got to get lucky in a way.
His interception last, and I know he's not really known for his interceptions this year because he's more known for you're not throwing them because he's locking you down. Mm-hmm. But his last two picks in the playoffs have been unbelievable. And that one last week, we kind of went in between McLaurin's hands and ripped it out and brought it down. My God, we are so lucky.
And that's a tough guy to do it against.
Oh, he's one of the best. I mean, McLaurin is
he's
really
a ball keeper for sure.
Yeah.
This is something we have not even touched on yet.
Yeah.
Plus 10 in takeaways. In the playoffs.
In the playoffs.
For the year. In the playoffs. In the playoffs.
10 takeaways, no turnovers.
Plus 10
Damn.
Against some of the best teams in the league, guys.
Yeah.
Against
I mean, really,
some of the
against
best
some of the best
teams in the
offenses.
league. Green
Against some
Bay
of the best
Packers.
offenses in the NFC.
Yeah.
The Rams were they were hurt. They were hurt for half the year.
Yeah.
When those guys came back, Kupp and Nakua came back. That team was full strength.
Yeah.
That's a Super Bowl winning quarterback in Matt Stafford, and they made him at times look foolish.
That's a Hall of Fame quarterback in Matt Stafford.
Yeah. Yep.
Couldn't agree more. So you're plus 10.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
This is also the first
Show it
time.
to me. You know, I'd love to find it. I'd love to find a place where I need to worry. Show it to me. Show me the hole. Like, take me to the hole. And put my head down. And let me look at the hole. Where's the hole?
Row your boat.
Take it easy.
Oh, that shit in some flour.
Take me to the hole in this team. Show it to me. Where is it? Besides Missy Elliott, who else? Like, what is it?
Say
What is it? Where is
The
it?
kicker.
Talk about a hole.
That's what he said. Besides
That's what
Missy
I just
Elliott.
said. Besides Missy Elliott, where is it?
Missy, I love it.
Down in the hole.
Show me the hole.
Show me.
Put it away.
That's
Stink.
gonna be the name of the show. Show me the hole.
Cover it up.
Yeah.
you
So
stinks.
Vinny, we were supposed to have
Stink hole.
last week,
Stink hole.
and apparently we're rescheduling it. I'm still waiting for a new date. We were supposed to have Ricky Waters on our show last week.
Ricky Waters for who? For
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, we're supposed to.
That's the first thing. Everybody you tell, yo, we're gonna have Ricky Waters on. It's the first thing they say. For who? For what?
And I was wondering because like the names of our shows, and I'm like, shit, if they look at the names of our shows, they might be like, fuck, we ain't going to this guy's show. Like, these guys are fucking stupid.
Yo, guys, I gotta.
Fanatics, Big Green Cock, like these weird names. Show
Red
titles.
Rocket.
Red Rocket, all kinds of Blue Waffle.
Taking a piss, fellas.
Blue Waffle.
Thanks. You can leave it too if you want.
Tripping Red Rocket.
Yeah, all kinds of crazy stuff. Last week was actually pretty tame, I think, but we've had some pretty crazy ass show names.
Listen,
But
I mean,
show me the hole. Show me the hole to the Super Bowl. Boom, done.
show me the hole.
Show me the hole.
I mean, dude, how about that cat? San Francisco, then here, and then what? It's just he just turned into dust.
Yeah,
He was one of the top running backs in the whole fucking league for a while, wasn't he?
Yes, I mean,
Or am I
Seattle.
just crazy?
No, he was. He came here after a Super Bowl winning year. Scored 3 touchdowns in a Super Bowl in '94. Beat the Chargers. I remember that Super Bowl. Was probably the biggest free agent signing that we had at the running back position in maybe ever to that point.
Yeah.
Because they ignored the running back position before that. Even though they made the trade for Herschel Walker, which was what, 88, 89? Gar?
I think
Wasn't that early. Couldn't have been that early.
I think you're a little
Yeah,
early.
maybe a little early. Okay.
Yeah, I think you're early for Herschel.
Okay.
Because that would mean that Buddy Ryan had Herschel. I don't think that's what that. Buddy
you might
Ryan
be
didn't
right.
have Herschel.
You might be right. Although it could be. Hey, Gary's looking it up. But either way, I mean, you didn't, you never went out and made that a priority for a couple of years, and then you go and get this versatile back who really was, in my opinion, he was the Marshall Faulk or LT before Marshall Faulk or LT.
1992.
So 92 is when he got Herschel Walker.
Yes.
So he was near the end of his career. All right, so
He had 2 good seasons with the Eagles.
he did, but he was still towards the end of his career. Yeah. All right, so maybe it wasn't as long as it was because then he was out and then a year and then he signed Waters. Okay. All right, so maybe I'll eat my words there. They didn't ignore the running back position. They did try.
Well, yeah.
It wasn't prioritized.
No, I mean after that it certainly wasn't. I mean Charlie Garner was your top running back for years, and then Deuce, who was good, But
he was all right.
wide receiver is another position. I mean that's another conversation because they did ignore wide receiver for a long time.
Yeah, but then they got Todd Pinkston.
Yeah, I mean, who
Everything
can
turned
forget?
down.
Who forget
I lost
that?
it in the lights.
Kevin Curtis.
Yeah, then everything turned around.
Yeah, Kevin Curtis,
James Thrash.
James Thrash.
James Thrash.
Who was the one from Pittsburgh? The dude we got from Pittsburgh. It was not shit.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we got a guy from Pittsburgh. It was McNabb's like second year. I want to say I keep saying Torrey Smith. It wasn't Torrey Smith because Torrey Smith was the other, but it was something. God damn it! I'll think.
I like your process, man. I like watching.
I know, right? Nate Brown. Nate Brown was another one.
Nate Brown.
Yeah.
He was a
First down Freddy.
Yeah.
First down Freddy. At least he was fun to watch. He got fun after a while.
Yeah.
But McNabb, I mean, listen, you can make the argument that Hurts, if he wins the Super Bowl, he's been to more Super Bowls than McNabb, right? He hasn't, you know what I mean? He'll be the same amount. McNabb went to one and threw up in it, right? If Hurts wins this, was he the best quarterback the Eagles have ever had? McNabb wins that by longevity. McNabb wins it by longevity because you stay there long enough, you're going to get the statistics that you need and the numbers that you need to be legendary. I mean, Hurts has been with us how long?
Charles Johnson and Torrance Small.
Torrance Small.
That's what's the Torrance Small and Charles Johnson.
That's why you're going with Torrey.
Right.
So, I mean, where does he rank? I mean, Jalen Hurts get you the Super Bowl the second time in 3 years with this quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, look, and I mean that's and this is a conversation before the Super Bowl, right? So like, I mean, he wins it, your people's perspectives are going to completely change. So before you, right, and that's fair. And why should it, right? He's taken him 2 out of 3 years. He's the only quarterback to take him to multiple Super Bowls. What he's done this year, look, the first 4 games of the year, I was like, what the fuck?
I was out.
Like, what the fuck are you doing? And then they came back after the bye, and you can see something changed. And he was like, oh, we had a meeting, and then, they got together.
I think they all went away to Fangio's house in the mountains. And he showed him the tree with the noose on it. And he said, anybody who doesn't fucking start playing is going to come back up here and get this. Yeah, because I have to tell you, something happened. And dude, you go back to my post at the beginning of the year. Yeah. This Fangio defense is not impressed. I was not impressed. I'm not impressed with this Fangio defense. I said it every single week. Everybody's making this guy out to be this big deal. I'm not impressed. And guess what? 2 weeks after the bye, I was fucking impressed. I probably commented on this post and saying I 100% agree with you. What the you probably did, yeah.
That Saints game, the Buccaneers game,
yeah.
The Buccaneers game, like I think I came on the show the week after that, and I said, the game has passed him by. He doesn't know what he's, all that stuff, all this, guru coming in, and blah 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 blah, and it's all bullshit. And then they came back after the bye, and they flipped the switch. And you know what? You might obviously I know you're kidding, but you're not, because something lit a fire under that defense's ass after that bye week.
I think they just all started to understand what they were supposed to do.
Too. They also put DeJean in.
Yeah, DeJean coming in for Avonte Maddox, who's a fucking. I don't want to see him.
He's a mess. Yeah, but they all started to really get what to do. I think that there was a light bulb moment for them one day. Maybe it was at practice. Maybe, at some point or another, they had a light bulb moment where they were like, oh, fuck, now I get this. And it all happened to them at once. And, hey, who knows? The Angels in the outfield. Hey, who fucking knows? But something happened with these guys, like you said, and then bang, it clicked. Yep. Then
they understood. They ended up understanding their assignments.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, they understood what to do. They realized where they needed to be, and they understood what their role in the defense was.
And
that's
it's funny,
the biggest thing with defenses.
I remember that. Then I remember that, like, going back and forth with you, like, yeah, that this looks like shit. Like, what is going on here? And like, I remember this post, like, this is a joke of defense, blah blah. And then it was a couple weeks later, like, all right, I'm starting to believe. And then it was like, this defense is real. Like,
because it was
all of us. Yo, and then in that game, where they turned it around against the Saints, Remember how fast Jalen Carter looked on that field?
It was Cleveland. The Saints
Yeah,
didn't-
but they get the game that really turned it, like, you know, because the Saints was after the bye.
No.
Four.
It was the game
It was
before.
before.
It was the game
It was before Tampa. That's right.
Although the Saints game, you started to feel okay. Like you and that's the truth because the Saints. I see what
saw inklings of what
you know
it
what
might
I'm
be.
saying. Like
I see what Ryan's saying. Ryan's not. Yeah, because it was the Saints came in as the highest.
they put up 40 points in the first two games.
Right, and then the Eagles come in and they shut them down, and they did,
And they fell apart after that. The Saints did,
and they did. Yeah. Well, and then the Eagles did too next week.
Exactly.
So it was
you
that
start
just
to see an inkling of what that was supposed to look like.
Yeah.
So they got, like, you're right, Ryan. They got it for, they got it, and they were able to put New Orleans in their place as far as like shutting them down and everything, and taking that 40-point game streak away from them at the time where they were on a roll with it.
Right.
And you thought, right, if this is the same defense that I saw the first 2 weeks, these guys are going to fucking run all over us, and they didn't. It wound up being that day that those guys understood their assignments, and then something happened after that.
Well, in Tampa, it was 105 degrees. You were out without Lane Johnson, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
And they started to make a game of it, like in the beginning of the third quarter. It just there were determining factors in that game. Because after that game, the defense was lights out.
Yeah. But I think after that game, they really started to understand what their assignments were. What also started to happen a little bit later in the season is that the offensive coordinator realized, I don't need this guy to throw the ball.
Nah, we're a running offense.
We're running offense.
We don't need to throw the ball 30 times a game.
And if I need him to throw the ball, I know he can, but I don't need him to.
Would you guys agree that
Barkley and between him and Barkley, I don't need him to fucking throw the ball at all if you want to play it like that. But it's going to be long and it'll weaken the line. But once you realize how to use Hurts, he looks like a fucking, he looks like an all-star, he looks like a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Has he thrown the ball over 30 times since the bye week?
No.
In a game?
No.
I don't think so.
Maybe the Steelers game.
I was going to say maybe Pittsburgh. So say once since week 5, he's thrown the ball 30 times. And they've done nothing but win. The only game they lost is when he got hurt.
Yeah.
The only game they've lost since the bye week. That's ridiculous.
That's true.
And
yeah,
yet
and
they're
I think last week was that was hands down the best game you've seen Kellen Moore call. That was fucking masterful.
Dude, again, I love that you're saying that, and you're right. And the word on the street is that's the best fucking game I've ever seen Jalen Hurts play. And, but Washington's not that good. They just didn't belong there. Their defense is just I don't understand how they got where they were. There was some the quarterback is great, but the rest of the team is not great.
But that's
They're
what
good. They're not great.
Like the definition.
They tripped their way in.
Yeah, it was the definition of like a quarterback, like, and we talked about it earlier. Jaden Daniels looks like the real deal.
Yeah.
It's the definition of how a franchise quarterback can put you ahead of schedule.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you have the quarterback, you got a shot.
Yeah, franchise quarterbacks don't grow on trees.
Right. But if you get one,
but they're going to hang from your big Fangio defense.
Yes.
Yeah.
It wasn't a racial statement, Sean.
I said that. I was like, maybe I should
make it a racial statement.
I probably should have said that. He's like, I'm going to hook one in the back of my truck, go for a drag.
I see it now. Good. The name of the show is going to be "Show Me the Hole," and there's just going to be a noose. Quotes around my name. I'll be shattered and shunned.
God damn it.
In the podcast world that nobody listens to me anyway.
By the way, Vin.
No more Totillo's cheesesteak for you, buddy.
That's it. You're done.
Yeah, you're out.
So this week.
So
this week,
Fuck you guys. I could live 8 months on this body. I don't have to eat another fucking thing till Christmas, and I'll still be alive.
There's a piece of my liver. I'll just chomp on that for a bit.
He's saying to live off the fat reserve.
I know what he's saying. I'm joking.
Thanks for clearing that up, Gary.
Yeah, thanks, Gary.
Hey, me too. I'm saying.
Dr. Gary over there, he's got it all figured out for you.
Yeah, fucking hacking along over here, this fucking guy.
You want to lose weight? Talk to me and Gary. We're nutrition.
Nice lie, you fat fuck. Yeah.
Fuck that Ozempic.
You can't even get it the fuck out. Can't even get the sentence out. The fat so much. Like pushing against his esophagus. Hey, fuck you, you fat fuck.
Man, not to toot our own horn, but we did get a ranking list. We are the number 2 sports podcast in the state of Pennsylvania. State of Pennsylvania, brother.
Fucking royalty, man.
That's awesome.
So it's a segue, kind of, not really.
Look, we went a whole 2 hours without hearing about your fucking book. Are you going to mention that fucking book again?
Yeah, do I have a copy on here?
How are sales going?
It's good, man. Yeah, everything's going well. Yeah.
Bestseller yet? I didn't see you on the New York Times bestseller list yet.
No, yeah. It was
he's going to win a Pulitzer.
When it did come out though. It was
Pulitzer. I think they give them away at the strip clubs. A Pulitzer.
Pulitzer. It was
Pulitzer.
It was on the for like a week or so. It was on like the top. Like for some reason, it was on the number 1 baseball book list for Amazon for a little while. I was like, well, that was pretty cool. But that's going well, man. December was a really good month, Christmas time and all that shit. So it was good. What I was going to ask you, and before that, if the Eagles win, I have to write an amendment chapter. I have to write an extra chapter and put it in there. Like if they win the Super Bowl, I have to add it.
Huh?
I have to.
Absolutely.
I'll take your word for it because from an honesty standpoint, I haven't read it.
Yeah, that's all good. If you haven't, we'll see what happens, and then I'll write that up and amend it, I should say, and then I'll shoot you a copy.
Whoa! From the author himself.
There's how many pictures are not in Vin? I don't know if you're gonna be able to follow it.
Yeah, there's no pictures, and it's not in Braille.
Yeah.
You know, my oldest son's name is Ryan, and he likes to break my balls too.
So, Vin, do you miss?
You call him and ask him how that goes.
I was going to ask. I can't imagine where he gets it from. What I was going to ask is, do you miss doing the radio, dude? Like, do you miss this? Do you miss this kind of thing?
I miss the conversations.
Yeah.
I miss talking about it. I miss like the outlets of it because look, man, I got friends that are like super stat guys. I've never been that. I never been the super stat guy. I never been like, oh well, such and such in his college years was that. I never was that guy. Yeah.
We're not that way either.
Well, I noticed that, but at the same time, you should know that. You should have some knowledge of it. You don't need to know all of it, but you should have some knowledge of it. But I always felt like I didn't know enough to do it. But then, you realize pretty quickly that, there's not rocket scientists in this, in this whole thing. And and that's not an insult to anybody. It's more of a compliment because I really expect that from everybody that I go on with because I feel like I don't know enough to sit and go back and forth with people, right? So that's actually a compliment to you, and it's a knock on me, but I'm good at doing that. So
yeah,
that's fine. But to answer your question, yeah, dude, of course. I mean, I made more money than I ever made in my entire life doing it. Yeah. I got paid to act like a complete idiot, and everybody knew who I was. It was fucking great, and I would do it again tomorrow if I had the opportunity to do it, but it's just not there. And I didn't want to go to Wichita and do an afternoon drive. My kids were in school and, I was, look, I had a real job before I got into radio. I was saying, fuck it. I'll just go back to the working world and I'll finish my life out. that was a fun 15 years. Let me see what else happens, And then, 2 years later, I'm on a TV show. And then after that, and then 3 years after that, the Soul Ends. I did in that time. I also did USA Sevens rugby, where they sent me to Vegas every year for like 6 years straight.
Did you know anything about rugby? Like going in?
Not a fucking thing. Not one thing. To this day, I called rugby games for 6 years. I have no fucking idea what I'm looking at.
It's great.
Fake it till you make it, or they throw you out. Australians hated me, and I like Australians because I'm a big fan of the accent.
Yeah.
But
he was like Jordy Mailata.
I didn't know anything about the game.
Yeah.
I knew nothing.
Well,
but they loved how much noise I made. They loved how hype I was. They loved how I got a crowd going. So that was what they wanted. That was what they were excited about. That's what,
and I can believe that. You are a very charismatic guy, man, and you do have an aura about you. You jump as soon as you jumped on the show, you're like boom, and you just hit us, and we're like, all right, man, we're ready to roll. You definitely have that, and you are missed on the radio, man. Because I was actually listening to Miss Anelli today or yesterday. I'm sorry, it was yesterday. I'm like, man, and I was wondering, like, even though it wasn't a sports show per se because it was on MMR. But like, I'm sure you guys went back and forth off the air about sports and all that stuff, and
we did. And that's where a lot of the intimidation came from for me, because Mike and Joe were both WIP guys.
Yeah.
And Mike prides himself on what he knows. And Mike, who's a good friend of mine. Matter of fact, I just texted him yesterday, probably about the show that you and I were both listening to.
Yeah.
And I talk to him now like I talk to you guys, because I'm not intimidated by him. But at that time, you have to understand, like, that situation was really, really strange.
Weird. It was weird. Yeah. I remember
there was a lot that I didn't know. So here's the deal. It was originally supposed to be just Mike and Joe.
Oh, okay.
I was not supposed to be a part of that at all. As a matter of fact, he told Mike and Joe and the GM that he was going to let me go. And I'm talking about the program director.
Yeah.
We're going to get Mike and Joe both said, we don't really need Vinny.
Okay.
We're fine without him. They didn't know me. They didn't know any, you know what I mean? They knew what I did.
Yeah, you can't.
They were like, no, Joe Conklin's like, you don't need that guy. He's the funny guy. I'm the funny guy. I don't need him. Right? So it was originally just supposed to be Mike and Joe. Mike and Joe were supposed to be the Philly guys. That was it.
Okay.
But the program director went against everybody and kept me on for some strange reason. I never could find out why. And it turned out that
who was it? Bill Weston? Was it Bill Weston?
It was a guy before him, Sam Milkman.
Okay. No. Okay.
For some strange reason, it worked out. Because what wound up happening was, and Joe is a very good friend of mine. I'm not talking shit on him. The way Joe used to do the show at WIP, Joe was not a huge part of Angelo's show, but he was when the time came.
He did the bits.
Right.
But
when he did the bits stood out so much because Angelo wasn't funny.
Right.
So when you wanted something funny on Angelo's show, you had to wait for Conklin.
Yeah.
Right? So they thought that would be the same thing. The program director thought that would be the same thing with Mike and me in the room together, just going back and forth, and then Joe would pop in.
Yeah.
Well, what started to happen was I would start reacting to what Mike said and make funny jokes and all that kind of stuff, and Joe would get pissed. I was like, what the fuck did you hire me for? You got this guy in there doing jokes.
Wow.
What the fuck? But here's the other problem. Conklin didn't show up for work until 6 a.m. Show started at 5:30. He never made the pre-show meeting either. That started at 4:45.
And this was like, was it out of like just because I don't care, or was it because
I don't know, because that's how he used to work when he was with Angelo.
Okay.
He never did the morning show that way. He was in charge of the bits.
Okay.
Right. So Joe already knew what happened the day before. And him and his writer his writer would sit down and put the bits together for that day.
Wow. Okay.
Like Chick Snapper and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But
remember Chick Snapper?
Yeah. When we did the show on MMR, Mike was a guy who wanted to arrange everything. And that's not the way Angelo was. Angelo would just talk about sports the whole time.
Right.
You're not playing sports at 5:30 in the morning. So you if you were up last night, you know what happened last
night. Right.
You know? But you're talking about music, you're talking about other topics that Joe didn't really care about that much.
Okay.
And Joe was handling the MMR show like he handled the WIP show. And it's not Joe's fault because I don't think anybody explained it to him the way it needed to be explained. And that is that this is a subject matter show. So it's not just the sports that we do, it's everything. Pop culture, all that kind of stuff.
It's a morning drive into work, calm your ass down before you get to work. And
exactly.
Yeah.
So Mike and I would sit in the morning at 4:45 and talk about everything we're going to do on the show. That started at 5:30 to 9 o'clock. We knew everything we were going to do. I'm going to talk about this. All right, I'll take this position on that. Well, I don't want you to agree with me here, so do this. Okay, I'll do it this way. No, try it this way. All right, no problem. He was a talk show guru. I wasn't going to go against him. I wasn't doing it long enough to go against him. So I was like, all right, whatever you want, no problem. I'll just do that. Bang, bang. And it started working out. We would just go back and forth talking to each other. And as we're talking to each other, I would get to know how he was. And I'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? We're up in Bristol. What the don't give me that shit. And all the kind of shit that that you would do. Like you guys have a rapport with each other. You guys know each other. That's what was happening with me and Mike.
There's a chemistry. There's a chemistry to build.
Right. Then Conklin would show, and Miss Anelli and I are both paisans, so it was right off the bat. It was something. There was something there. So Conklin would show up at 6:15 and go, "Hey, go back to talking about that thing that you were talking about at 5:40. I got a couple of jokes for that." And Mike's like, "I'm not fucking. I'm not going to go back there and talk about that. Oh, this is what's coming up next. Do you have anything for this?"
Man.
No, push that till later. I'm working on this right now for that thing that you were talking about before. So those two started banging heads all the time.
Man, yeah.
And it was two egos that it was their first soiree away from WIP.
Yeah.
They threw a lot of money at them.
Which is weird too, because like it's WIP sports. Oh, now it's pop culture, music, this and we're taking breaks because we're playing songs, we're playing music, we're taking more phone calls that aren't about the Eagles. It's about what's going on in the world. Oh yeah. So it got weird because Mike's a big music guy. Yes.
So he thought that
he's a big alternative rock guy.
Yeah, he really liked like Stained and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
I remember when not to cut you off, I remember when Break the Cycle by Stain came out.
Yeah.
And he played, I'll never forget this. I actually won a prize off you guys too one time. But he played the last song on that Stain album when it came out. I forget the name of it now.
Epiphany?
No, it's the very last song on that. And he was like, I love this song. And he had to play it, but he's like, look, they're not gonna let me play this. We have to edit it. And he had to edit the part because he says the F-bomb a couple times and he had to edit it out.
Mm-hmm.
And he was trying to sing along with it. It was like, man, because I remember getting that album. I was like, I love that song too, and it resonated with me, and I can't believe I remember that. As you just said that about Stain, it just popped in my head.
Yeah, but he was really into all that kind of stuff, and Joe was just Joe. He was still doing Barrel Priests and all that kind of stuff, So it wasn't. So it wasn't until like, and then he was mad at me, but it was. Again, Joe and I are really good friends now. So what was happening was it was get Vinny out of the studio because he's taking my spots.
Yeah.
Right?
And
he's being funny on the fly. And you hired me to be funny. and I'm not in there to be funny. And everybody would say, why aren't you in there?
Yeah.
You have to be in there to be funny. You have to be in the room. And that was the argument back and forth. So finally, they took me out of the studio, put me in the studio next door, and all I was allowed to do was sports updates. And they weren't allowed to be funny. Scores, highlights, that was it.
Really?
It wasn't I just allowed to do my sports report. That was it. Right? Throw a couple of nicknames in, sprinkle a little bit of this and that. And that was that. But Mike was sitting in there by himself until 6:15. So he would look over and talk to me. And I'm like, I'm lipping it to him, like saying in his headphones, do you want me to answer you? And he's like, yeah, fucking answer me. What the fuck? Like he was getting upset because I wasn't answering him. It sounded like he was talking to himself. And I'm like, dude, they don't want me to answer. I don't give a fuck. I'm trying to do a show. You can't do a show if nobody's. Who am I talking to? I'm not talking to anybody. And I'm like, okay. So finally, this whole thing blows up somehow. I have a talk with Compton and I resolve our differences. I didn't really have a difference with him. I was honored to work with him, but he was pissed because I was being funny and he was supposed to be funny. So a couple things transpired and I took him into a room because he was really trying to just get me fired.
Yeah.
And I said to him, who the fuck are you? And he's like, what? I'm like, all I ever did was admire you. All I ever did was love what you do. And you're fucking going behind my back trying to get me fired. I have a family, you fucking asshole. I said, look, dude, I know you're an only fuck, and I'll fucking get up right now and we'll go right here. Because you're fucking with my income and you're fucking with my family. And he's just sitting there stunned, like, and I go, you got nothing to say? He goes,
that threat was brought to you by Marv Splats out of the game.
He goes, no one's ever talked to me like that before. I'm like, well, I'm sorry, but I'm not going for it. And he was like, dude, I am so sorry. I'm being such a fucking dickhead. I apologize to you. And from then on, we were fucking thick as thieves. Not only that, we start writing shit together. We start doing bits together. We start doing impressions together. I fucking call him probably 3 or 4 times a year. We laugh our balls off together.
That's great.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
Same thing with Mike. Mike fucked me up one time at a live broadcast because Mike loved to be on TV. Mike had a big ego about being on TV. He loved to be on TV.
Really? Yeah.
So one time I'm at Chickies and Pete's, and I'm with Don Towles. Remember Tolly?
Well,
Don
so
Towles.
real quick. So the time I won a prize off your show, it was the weirdest thing you ate or drank or whatever it was. And I called up. I was driving in the
What was
work.
her name? Come on.
What's her name?
So I'm driving in the work. I worked in West Philly, whatever, and I'm from the Northeast. It was a long drive, and I listen to you guys every morning. And I would drive in. All right, I'm calling it. Fuck it. He got me on, and Mike goes, all right, so what was the weirdest thing you ate? So, well, me and my buddy, and Mike's not here tonight. Mike usually sits right next to Gary. And I said, yeah, me and Mikey got off the bus one day, and we go around, and we saw all these plastic bags on front people's garages. What the fuck are they? So we went over to one of the garages, opened it up, as a Pepsi Kona. So Pepsi Kona had just come out, and they were giving away free samples to all the neighbors, to the neighborhood or whatever. So we went around and stole all the bags from everyone's doorsteps. And then we went to the food store, and we got vanilla extract because it has alcohol in it. We mixed it together. We were drinking that. It was fucking disgusting.
Oh my God.
So then I told him the story, and he goes, oh my God, right? So Joe, I'll never forget. Joe goes, oh, that's real nice. And I do my best Don Tolson impression on the air. I'm like, doing good things, community, like that. And Conklin goes, oh, we got a funny guy over here. I'll never forget that. And I was dying in the car. Right? He goes, oh, look at this guy. So Missinelli, he actually put me as a finalist. I lost to. He said, all right, it's between this guy or this guy. And the guy who won, and I can't blame him, put toothpaste on bread and ate that for breakfast, like regularly. Apparently, yeah, toothpaste on bread, so he didn't have to brush his teeth. And I'm like, all right, you know what? I'll take that loss. You can take that, but yeah. So it was pretty funny. But anyway, so I'm sorry. The Don Thomas.
Dude, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm at Chickies with Tolly, and Tolly's doing the radio thing, man.
Ripping people off.
And there's a camera crew in the studio. So the deal was Tolly was going to be on the air and Mike was going to be on television. It was a switcheroo. Well, they dumped Mike. They bumped him. He wasn't on.
Snapped.
Oh no!
He fucking lost it. You gotta remember, your fucking show starts at 5:30.
Oh yeah.
He's wearing a suit. He's all fucking TV'd up, and I'm like, oh fuck.
Here we go.
Tolly's like, you think that's gonna be a problem? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? He's gonna lose his shit. Well, man, it's nothing you can do, man. Okay.
Maybe you should take a cruise. I'll pay for it.
So here's Mike in my ear. Fuck you guys. Fuck Tollefson. You ain't coming back on the show. It's like 8:30. Show goes until 10. Yeah. And we got two more
You're like,
two more spots to do. He's like, you guys ain't coming on. Fuck you, fuck him, fuck everybody. Pack the shit up and get back here. I'm not putting you on the air. Don't fucking call. I'm not putting you on the air.
Oh my God.
And he drops the feed. And I take my headphones off and I go,
oh, man.
I'll be right back. I get in the car and I drive all the way to Bala from Northeast Philadelphia. And I fucking kick the door of the office home. And I go, I guess I got to do it to you too. You ever fucking talk to me like that again, I'll take your fucking Bruno Magli shoe and stick it so far up your ass to be able to tie your fucking shoes with your tongue, you motherfucker. Don't you ever fucking put me in that position again.
Wow.
Okay. So it's not to suggest that anybody was mad at me, but
no,
the point was that these guys were in such a place ego-wise where they just felt like they could do whatever they wanted to do. And I'm a neighborhood guy, and you can't.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy. I'm not the intern. I'm not the guy who gets your coffee. I'm not the guy who washes your car, brushes your teeth for you, or scrubs your balls. None of that.
Yeah, don't leave me sitting here holding my dick.
You know? Like, don't leave me out there.
And they respected that.
They did.
They were like,
and
okay.
And that's why I'm still friends with these guys today. And among so many other reasons, too, by the way. Yeah. And what they also realized, too, is that I did nothing but treat them with respect.
Yeah.
So I could have been a total douchebag to them, and I wasn't. And that's that.
If since you have a contact with them, and it's not the biggest thing in the world, and we're still on the air, by the way. Yeah. I was just double checking. Are we still
late, isn't it?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, we go until about 10:15, 10:30. We can go whenever fuck we want. We're on our station. We don't care.
Pop-Pop's tired, guys. Come on.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. It's all good. And Gary's got to leave soon anyway. If you don't mind, tell him you were on with us tonight and say, can you unblock those guys off of X? All right. I don't know why he blocked us. I never said anything to him. Like I like him. Like I like Mike Missinelli. I listen to his show. I like his show. I think he's the best sports talk host in the city. I do.
And I'm glad he's back.
These guys love you. Yeah. They don't know why they're blocked. Yeah. They've never, whatever. I'm not gonna tell you what to say.
I'm glad. I know. I'm glad he's back on the Fanatic. I'm glad he's,
No, look,
I said, I just talked to him yesterday. Like,
Bob Cooney. Bob Cooney is a good friend of ours as well, and I don't know what happened there. We don't know the whole story, and I'm sad that he's not on with them anymore. And that's nothing against Bob or anything like that, but Mike Missinelli is a absolute sports talk legend in this town. And I'm glad he's back on the air as well.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure. And
he brings stability, man. He always has a good show. Always.
Yeah, he's aces, man. Both of those guys are aces. Conklin to me is probably. I would definitely say that he's got my heart because he's a Philly boy like me, and we've been through a lot of shit together. You know, we went through this, and he was really, really sincere, and he, you know, I mean, I feel bad sometimes. Oh, we were talking today about The Godfather, Mike and I.
It's too funny.
I mean, it was just it was a moment, right? And I by no means tell you that to build myself up.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't tell you those stories to put those guys in. No,
it's giving them guys character.
But what I you know meant to say by that is that they were both put in a spot, and they weren't really given a whole lot to do in that spot. And, you know, it was on them because they were both, you know, being told that, hey, man, this is on you now. We're putting a lot of money into this. We're putting a lot of, I mean, we had our own fucking camper, for fuck's sake. We had our own thong. What radio show has their own thong, for Christ's sake? Fucking pasties, like everything, you name it, we had it. And it was an amazing 9 months. It really was. And I really wish that if everybody would have calmed down just for a minute and took a breath, we'd probably still be on the air. That's how good that show was.
Yeah.
It was great. After everything got settled, it was fucking awesome because
you know,
we liked each other, respected each other, and that was it.
Obviously, you know, we love sports talk and we talk sports on this show, but we were just Gary and I were just talking about it tonight. One of the great things we do on the show, like if there's nothing, just going off the rails and talking about whatever's on our mind. And when when Mikey does that I'm calling him Mikey like I fucking know him. When Mikey Missinelli does that on his show, and he starts talking about that's when I'm most like,
right.
That's the most fun, like because like there's only so many. First of all, I know, and I'm sure you feel the same way, Vin. When you take these phone calls from these people on a sports talk radio station, you want to fucking shoot yourself. Because these guys, some of these people that call in are fucking stupid. I don't know what they're watching, what they're thinking, what kind of meth they're on, whatever the deal is.
New generation.
It's not new generation. It's always been that way. It's been that way since I was a kid. When I listened, like, what the fuck is Tony from South Philly talking about? The guy's a fucking idiot. Like, just saying the dumb shit, like criticizing someone because he threw a pick, but yet he threw 3 touchdowns the week before. And you know what? Social media has only made it worse. Social media only made it worse. It's because everyone has a fucking voice, and podcasts too. Like every asshole like us has a voice, and you know.
Well, listen, man. You know what? I have a famous saying. I've always had it. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, and they all stink.
They all stink.
So, and I don't care what you do to it. An asshole still stinks.
That's right, Ryan. So stop sticking your tongue in them, Ryan.
Exactly. It's not doing anything for it, Ryan. You're the only one getting anything out of it. Okay.
And what are you getting out of it?
You're getting excited for you that you can reach it with your tongue.
Hey, you're getting a tongue full of shit.
Well, maybe they use.
You're right, dude. That's the problem with social media. That's the problem with everything. You're looking at a guy who had a rotary phone.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't call anybody.
Yeah.
You know, when the line was busy, I had to wait until you know they hung up, and then I had.
If you fuck the number up, you got to start over.
Hit the little thing. Yeah. Hit that little. Yeah. Hit that little thing on the top. Restart it. Vin, we're gonna. You know, I know we kept you fucking. Yeah. Hey, Vin, you want to come off for 10, 15 minutes? Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
fucking
thanks.
2 hours later. 2 hours later.
It's I'll give you my Venmo.
I know we hit you up. I hit you up like a month ago, man. I'm not gonna put you on the spot, but just want to remind you, March 29th, Saturday, March 29th at Sandy's Roast Beef and Ale, our 10th anniversary show, man. You're welcome to come. We'd love to have you.
I love that. Sammy's Roast Beef and Ale.
Sandy's Roast Beef and Ale in Langhorne. Yeah, we'll hook you up, man. We'll get you some food or beer or whatever. Doing a show, and we got some other guests coming. Actually, you might know
who's coming
right now. I'll leave that name for the last one. So Bob Cooney is apparently going to come. Jason Martinez was scheduled to come, but obviously with his cancer diagnosis, I'm not sure. So we'll see about Jason. I'll hit him up as we get closer. Ed Kratz from Sports Illustrated covers the Eagles. And Steve.
That's Lenny's brother, isn't it?
Ed Kratz?
Lenny Kratz. That's his brother.
I don't know. I don't know Lenny Kratz. Yeah, I have no idea. I wasn't aware of that.
It is absolutely
because Ed's been here. Like he's been at my house and he's done the show with us.
No shit. And he never told you that?
No.
What an asshole.
Wait, Lenny Kravitz? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
You think like Kravitz? No, it's Ed Kratz. It took me a second. I'm like, Lenny.
It's fucking late, dude.
God damn it. And,
this is what you're doing, the plug.
Here you go, Vinny.
You're going to go your own way.
Here you go. Steve fucking Jeltz. Steve Jeltz might be coming. Steve Jeltz might be coming.
Steve Jeltz.
Yeah, Steve Jeltz. And then we got another.
And hopefully Vinnie the Crumb.
And hopefully Vinny.
Who else? Steve Jeltz.
Right. I'm waiting on
his brother.
I'm waiting on Brian Prop. Waiting on an answer for
the
Prop.
Fall guy. He'll only come if he could sell cigars.
He can sell cigars.
I like his cigar. He's good. He's got good cigars.
Yeah. Gavah. He's a good dude, man. He helped me out.
Good dude. Really good dude. Super charitable guy. He's
Yep.
Fucking awesome. He's one of my favorite guys.
And I
really
Joey
he wouldn't know me if he tripped over me, but I love him. I think he's great.
Joe Watson said he would have loved to come, but he is actually going on a family vacation that week. So, like, of course you are, you motherfucker. That's all good. But
you're the family guy.
No, it's
no, it's good, man.
Let's see what else we can do. So yeah, we're getting some other names and we'll work it out. But yeah, that's what we have so far.
And you don't forget to tarp the truck when it snows.
Dude, that worked out so good.
That's awesome.
Dude, that's
fucking doing it every time now.
Yeah.
I'm doing it every time.
You got that from your
I want to
pop,
invent
right?
something. You know them fucking roll things that go over them trucks that have the trash? I want to invent that but I don't know. I don't have time for that shit. I don't have time to invent shit.
What, in between all the Xfinity sales you're making, just fucking
I don't work there anymore, man. I'm a free agent. I'm a freelancer.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm a free agent.
All right.
Well,
then we thank you so much. You have anything to plug? Anything you want to push before we call the
She's
show?
upstairs.
You know that saying.
That hasn't been done for a while.
Water.
I doubt it.
Still need a step ladder. Fuck it in
Yeah, go wake her up, Vin.
No,
all right, Vin, thank you so much, man.
You guys.
Cool. Vin, thank you so much, man. Hopefully we'll see you next month. Hey, go fucking Birds. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Score prediction. Your score prediction. I know you said double digit, but
oh shit. Okay. Yeah. 34-20.
I like it. 34-20 says Vinnie the Crumb. Vinnie, we thank you so much for joining the show.
Cheers,
tonight.
guys.
Cheers, brother.
Take care, right? See you next time.
Brother.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Vin. Vinnie the Crumb joining the show tonight. That was awesome, man. Vinny's fucking fan. He's still on it, so he's hearing everything I'm saying.
Yeah.
Vinny, I don't know how to shut this fucking thing. I'll get you out.
Turn it
Just
off.
close it.
All right, I got you.
Get rid of me. Get rid of me.
Thank you,
goddammit.
Just close it.
Thank you. I got it.
I'll show you how to get off.
Are you heading out? I'm gonna do while you were drunk.
All right, I'll wait.
You and fuck you, Ben. Real quick. All right. That was awesome. Dude, Vinny's fucking fantastic. That's only the second time we've had him on, which is crazy. It felt like I've doesn't it feel like you've known him forever?
Yeah. He's fun, man. That was fun.
You, Ben.
Fuck you, Ben. Fuck you, Ben. Fuck you, Ben.
Fuck you, Ben.
Fuck you, Ben. Fuck you, Ben.
Fuck you,
Where the
Ben.
fuck you been? Where the fuck you been?
Where the fuck have you been? Hank Fraley. Where have you been, Hank Fraley? Hank Fraley was born September 21st, 1977.
Isn't he coaching in the NFL?
He is, dude. I didn't know that. So he is now a coach, but before that, he was signed as an undrafted free agent by the Steelers in 2000. The Eagles then claimed him off the waivers. He started at center for 5 years. He lost his starting job to Jamal Jackson in 2006, which means he was part of the 2004 Super Bowl team. He then left the Eagles, played for the Browns, and then played for the Rams. So Hank Fraley went to Robert Morris College, 1996 to 1997. Like I said, as a player, started out in 2000 with the Steelers, Eagles from 2025 to 2025, Browns from 06 to 09, and then Rams to 010. He then went into coaching. So
I know where he's at now.
Hank Fraley started off as an offensive line coach 2 years after he retired, offensive line coach for San Diego, then went to San Jose State, so he stayed west. Then he came to the NFL as an assistant offensive line coach with the Vikings, then went back to college for UCLA as the offensive line coach, went to the Detroit Lions as an assistant offensive line coach, so he's back and forth to the NFL. But then he stays with the Lions.
Yeah.
Since 2018, he's been a member of the Lions coaching staff, assistant offensive line coach, then offensive line coach in 2020 to 2024. And then this year, he became the run game coordinator for the Detroit Lions, who obviously...
That's a demotion.
No,
it's not.
How's that a demotion?
Is he
Offensive line coach. Because he's an offensive line coach / run game coordinator to a team that ran the goddamn shit out of the ball. To me, that's
impressive, man.
Yeah, it's very good. So Hank Fraley, man, good for you. Good for you, Hank Fraley. Oh, real quick. So I lost it. Never mind. I was gonna hit up those defensive stats, and we'll save them for next week because we got next week to really give our predictions and all that. And we'll see how this week plays out for all of us because we might be feeling different about the game and our predictions and our comfort level. While you're drunk, I have a few stories, and we'll call it a show.
I am not drunk, man. You trying to make me drunk? Whoa.
It's time to catch up on some things you may have missed.
Whoa.
Wow, you were drunk.
I'm drunk and I love cats. What more do you need to know?
While you were drunk, Justin Tucker is a pervert.
Dude. Apparently, he would jerk off on the massage table and just leave it.
Yeah, just leave a semen on the table. Dried up all over. So 6 different massage therapists have accused him of... Do it again, Ryan? What was he doing? Jerking off on the massage tables and leaving it.
And just leaving it there.
Just leave it.
What if there wasn't a wet nap?
Just leave it. Just leave it. Just, don't clean up. Just, you get a massage,
You got it all over my shirt.
You know how everyone feels, you just...
I'm coming day and night.
Yeah.
Tip fucker.
Dude, there's so many clips we have on that. What does that say about us? I have 17 pages of sound effects. 8 of them are just cum jokes. Like
him and Deshaun Watson are good friends.
Dude, seriously, that's absolutely insane.
Nice little man.
Absolutely insane. It's crazy. So, actually, speaking of Mike Missinelli, he was bringing up the fact that it's implied that he knew these charges were coming. Giggity. And that this was something that maybe might have been on his mind
all year.
Yeah, coming down the stretch here. So
what are we going to hear about something from Jake Elliott?
Giggity.
Yeah, right. Doesn't Jake Elliott kind of look like someone who would do that though?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Doesn't he?
He goes to the playground and swings in the swings and leaves his nut in the swing.
Yeah.
He leaves. He's like, he kind of does.
Come here, little girl.
He's sitting next to his bubble gum.
A fucking 20-year-old Bazooka Joe.
Yeah.
It's all hard as a rock, just like him when he leaves.
Maybe that's his problem. He's always thinking about it. And he's got a hard on, and he can't hit a 50-yard kick anymore.
Yeah, he's thinking of those fucking Bazooka Joe comic books.
Yeah.
Little fucking thing he pull out. What was that? What was this? Never mind. All right. But, while you were drunk, Harold, I could go on. I can't. I gotta go. Harold Katz. And actually, Jay just texted in. Don't forget to mention Harold Katz's death. He did bring a championship to Philadelphia. Yes, he did.
All right, give us a fucking second.
Harold Katz, 1981 to 1996 was the owner of the Philadelphia 76ers.
That's right in Huntington Valley.
And Jay's 100% right. 1983 brought the championship to Philadelphia. For the longest time, was the longest championship. 25 years. It was the only championship in the city.
His pool house was as big as his house.
Jay, actually, who just chimed in, did a lot of work for Harold Katz. He said he was a very nice man. He said him and his wife are very nice people. Yeah, that was kind of sad news to hear about. But, the one thing that happens is we pay taxes and die. So he died. All right, next thing is Ovechkin.
D.E.D. dead.
I don't like your jerk off name.
Get this through your head, you Jew motherfucker.
I gotta go. Jesus Christ, that was right on key.
Ovechkin is less than 20 goals away from catching.
Yes, he is. Yo, he's having a monster year, and he missed 6 weeks.
I knew he was going to fucking do this. I knew he was going to go off. Last year, we've been following this for 2 years now.
Yep.
We've been kind of keeping track and giving updates and he's 36 or 60 goals away or 50. Oh, he means he has to play for 3 more years. He's how old? 38, 39, 40. I'm like, nah, he's going to fucking do this.
He's 41 years old.
He's less than 20 goals away.
And he's still productive.
He might not. He's not going to do it.
He might do it this year.
He could do it this year.
He could. He's having a monster. Dude, he missed 6 weeks. He broke his fucking ankle.
It's insane.
How many is he away?
Less than 19.
19.
Yeah, I mean, there's still plenty of season left.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, they're the number 1 seed right now, too.
It's insane. Absolutely insane with that team.
Imagine he breaks it and fucking wins another cup, goes out fucking completely on top.
Yeah, that would be it, right? Like at that point, you just call it a career.
Like you would hate to see that he would come back next year because he needs 4 more goals.
Yeah,
that
would be absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. But congrats, dude. No matter what, dude,
he's obviously going to break it at this point.
Generational fucking player, man.
Play the Flyers, you get the 19 goals in 1 game.
Yeah. Speaking of Flyers, we do have to talk about something real quick. Colorado State spectator was killed at a meet inside an indoor meet. They were doing the hammer throw, and the fucking weight left early and hit a spectator in the head.
Killed him.
Colorado State University. That's insane. And I was always wondering about that because that's the javelin throw. I've seen where people got hit with the javelin. You've seen footage of that happening. But that's just crazy shit.
Yeah, that is.
And then the last Why You Were Drunk story I have is Matt, and I have one more. I'm sorry, it's 2 more. Matt Penfield, longtime MTV VJ, has suffered a massive stroke. Where basically so Matt Penfield had weight issues and had health issues, right? Gets himself right.
And then get the stroke.
Gets himself right. Gets himself in the best shape he's ever been in his entire life and has a fucking massive stroke. So it's so bad that his daughter now has to turn around and basically is taking over. Taking over his assets. Basically saying he's done. Goddamn shame. I'll never forget the free Metallica show. Now, I was at the show, so I didn't see it until afterwards. But they filmed, I think they were traveling from New York or something at the time. And they're on the bus, Metallica's bus, and Matt Penfield was interviewing them on the way to Philly, talking about, and all you can see is in the background, 95 and our fucking, everything we're familiar with, right? And talking about the show, and I'll never forget it. Matt Penfield's a fucking cool dude, and he was, and speaking of Metallica, Jay's right. Speaking of Metallica, Marianne Faithfull also, she died this week. She obviously was the guest vocalist. Say hello,
Go.
And then the last Why You Were Drunk story. While you were sleeping, while you were drunk, The Flyers made a deal last night. And I guess I can save this for last because I got to be honest, I don't really know what to say. So here's the deal. Morgan Frost and Joel Farabee were both traded to the Calgary Flames for Andre Kuzmenko, Jacob Pelletier, a second-round 2025 pick, and a seventh-round 2028 pick. Mike was in our text already, kind of hit on the head. It is kind of a salary dump because of the Farabee deal.
Right.
Because Farabee signed a $30 million deal.
Mm-hmm.
You have to eat. You still have to eat. I think they only have to eat 3 of the 5 years now, instead of the whole thing. And you're getting a second round back. But like, I'm a little pissed off because it's like, to me, Farabee and Frost, like, I know they haven't hit they've had their peaks and valleys, but like, both of them are so young. They're so young, and now you're already turning the page. So the thing with the Russian player they got in the deal, he played 13 games with Michkov, and now everyone's like, oh well, they know each other and they're teammates. I'm like, they played 13 games together. Let's not.
Right. But the big deal in the draft is that second guy. I forget his name. He's got like goal scorer potential.
He had 32 goals 2 years ago, 3 years
right.
ago.
He's had a shoulder issue. It seems like that's getting straightened out.
Yeah, he's got a high ceiling.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a high reward, low risk type thing. Because if not, you move on.
Right, you move on because they both have expiring contracts. So
and like Farabee and Frost, they seem like two young, good players, but they're not players that are going to get you over the top.
They're not generational players.
Right, they're not. So, like, dump the salary, get any asset you can. Briere and Jones have been straight up, like, relax. Like, this is going to take a minute. You know what I mean? You got to figure out the goalie situation. It looks like you got your stud in Mishkov, who's struggling a little bit right now, but you know
he's a rookie playing on a shitty team.
Right. Kanecki's a star. Tippett has the potential to be a star if he lives up to it.
Tippett shows potential. Here, not to get on a whole thing, but like, you know, are you getting tired of Torella?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
I don't think the players are responding to him.
No, I think his time has come.
Yeah.
I think his era has come and gone.
Yeah.
I think the whole, tough love thing. It's not even tough love. It's tough whatever. Tough shit is basically
right.
I think these guys they're done. They're done with it.
Like that's
right.
Not
Like
what the NHL is anymore.
I wouldn't mind John Tortorella staying in the organization. But I do think it's just it's not working. It's time to move on. Like you got to move on from him.
This team should have taken steps ahead this year, and instead now you're trading your young players.
Yeah,
and
right.
To me, it's a step back, and now here we are again. We're going to be. This is another 2-year step back.
Yeah,
it's another. Well, maybe.
Well, Briere said when he came on, it could be 5 years.
Right, but this maybe this deal. Maybe I'm overstepping a little bit. If one of these two players can live up their potential, like we said, high, low risk, high ceiling, and then you're obviously getting a second round pick in this year's draft, it's not going to set you back that much. Like Morgan Frost and Farabee are going to kill you not having them. But if one of these guys pan out, both of these guys don't pan out, now you got a second round pick. Now you lost two guys that you looked at as a core part of this team.
They got a goaltending issue too.
That is a step back, and they do have a goaltending issue. I mean, they have other guys in the pipeline though, but I'm not feeling great. I'm not feeling great with it. And
no, I think
almost every fucking team in hockey finds lightning in a bottle one year out of fucking 50, and the Flyers haven't done it. It's embarrassing, and they need to fucking.
Well, they found it during COVID.
They did actually. That's the last. So it's been 5 fucking years since the Flyers have made the playoffs and have made an impact in the playoffs.
Me personally, I think that's the guy you should have had to build up these younger kids. That coach.
Haxtell.
Haxtell?
Wasn't Haxtell. It was when they went to the playoffs during COVID. That was
Laviolette?
No, it was
He's here in 20.
Vigno. Alan Vigno.
Oh, Alan Vigno. Oh yeah. Oh my God, I forgot about him. Jesus. Yeah, those are Jason. Flyers are 50-year losers. All right. Look,
but he's another one of them old school coaches too. Like you gotta hire the young up and come coach, man. Like that's just today's NHL. And I hear you, Sean. It's embarrassing, but like
these dinosaurs.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah, but I'm still okay with like the direction. Like,
yeah,
I like the fact that they realize, all right, this isn't working. We gotta shake it up, try something else.
Yeah, you're not dropping anchor and then completely abandoning ship. Jump on the life. They're not doing that. They're like, okay, let's take a detour here. Like something's not working.
Like there's been a lot of games this season where when they lost, they just didn't compete.
Last night was one of them.
Yeah, you can't. You still got to compete.
Last night was one. The Devils.
Like even if you lose,
3-0. And the Devils are a good team. But
even if you lose, you got to compete.
Yeah.
And that's also like this could have a two-pronged effect. Like you just traded two of your better young talent players, right?
Yeah.
So like it could have a two-pronged effect where like guys, if you don't hustle every single night, you're not going to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. No, absolutely true.
All right, fellas.
Yep. All right. Let's call it a show.
All right, bro.
Next week is our Super Bowl show. Next week is our ultimate, like, balls to the wall analysis. I always do that. Analysis
Only
of the Eagles Chiefs.
The best you'll hear.
All right, brother. I'll see you guys. Yeah, it's gonna be a good show. I cannot wait for next week. Right now after talking to Vinny, I was at a 7 before the show. After talking to Vinny, I'm at an 8. By next week, I might be at
I'm still at a 7.
I might be at a fucking 10 next week.
I agree with everything. The Eagles are the better team. It's that Mahomes factor.
It's the Mahomes factor, and well, we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah.
It's dude. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it's the rest factor.
That's a thing, dude. The Bills had the first down twice.
The NFL wants a franchise to overtake the Patriots because that franchise was damned.
Yep.
By
Deflategate.
Yep. It's Spygate and Deflategate. So.
Yep.
All right, Peterson said good night. Go Birds. Good night, gentlemen. Be safe. Everyone that's tuned in tonight, again, to start, we hit it on the top of the show. Jay, salute to you and your family. We hope everything's okay with you guys. To all the people that were affected by the plane crash in Philly tonight, we're thinking of you guys. I know we joked earlier because that's what we do, but God rest your soul, Kobe Bryant. We'll see you guys next week.
Go Birds.
Right. Do it one more time for the people in the back.
Go Birds.
Nice. All right. Podcast is done recording. Rye, are you good, dude?
What?
Are you
phone coverage?
Yeah.
I'll do a little bit of phone coverage, but I got to get a drink, take a piss, have a cigarette.
Yeah. All right. Let's just call it. I got to go to the bathroom, too. I don't know.
All right.
Both those will be gone. Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, it would be weird.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
All right, man.
Blank screen. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We love you guys. Thank you. And we'll see you guys next week. Next week's going to be a fun one. A very fun one. See you.
Later, guys.
All right.